Right. Hello, hello. I'm Martin Mayukama with my co-caster here. Do you want to go?
Yeah, my name's Ethan. I go by Gyaku in game, I guess, but I guess we'll just call each other by our first names today.
Yes, sir. We are in an exciting series here. 4 and 0 versus furry supporters on the red side. I love these names. Oh my god. But anyways, let's get on with the draft. We got Vi, Swain, Locked In, Nautilus, and Cho'Gath, and a Lulu getting hovered. What do you think about these teams, dude?
Yeah, honestly, since this is a very somewhat pseudo casual match, it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be very less dependent on like these super hotly contested picks and like pro play per se. Unless that Nautilus is like being inspired by MSI going on, which just ended. Could be going mid, could be going top, but maybe going to
Mm-hmm.
support with Cho'Gath and Ari being locked in seems pretty likely going to that support.
Yeah, Nihilus is also just a really nice flex pick, but we're gonna get into the banning phase here. Ari is locked in for mid. She's one of those champions that just function very well into a team where you kind of just want to run away from.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, athlete
Um,
Swain.
Yeah, very, very consistent champion, kind of one of those very consistent, control mages that people kind of pick just to slot into any team comp. Very like flexible pick, especially if he has to like blind.
Yeah, a really safe pick. And first support is they really need to draft for damage here, I feel like, because Nautilus, Cho'Gath, and Ari, they're great champions. They have a lot of utility, but they're not exactly champions known for having a lot of damage. On the other hand, 4 and 0, whew, they went all in. Vi, Swain, Lulu. I'm just excited to see what ADC picks they're going to choose because 4 and 0 and first supporters are both just drafting the opposites. You got the full on hook champion Nautilus and the enchanter support on Lulu.
Yeah, for sure. I
Dude,
think it's really
yeah,
interesting since we're on that new patch. I think it's really important to look out for any potential
definitely.
like lethality champions. You have like any mid laners coming in. Obviously, 4-0 still has the option to pick a lethality mid laner if they wanted, or
Hmm.
ADCs. Of course, right now seems to be like Jin is really good along with the attack speed champion. So like things like Lulu
Yeah,
with the Ardent Sensor Rush might be really strong,
yeah.
especially against Nals and Cho'Gath where they might be able to free hit.
Yeah, furry supporters are probably going to draft a Storm Razor champion, I believe, simply because Nautilus. Lulu, Lulu just works with any champion, honestly. Any ADC works. She's like the jack of all trades, enchanter support for any ADC.
For
And
sure, just get a
Kha'Zix locked
Kha'Zix
in.
coming in.
That is quite good, actually, for the side of furry supporters. Kha'Zix is one of those AD junglers that can honestly carry into the late game.
Yeah, for sure, and he's definitely in a very strong spot right now, especially with lethality items gained that rework recently.
Yeah,
Yumi's is a really popular item that we've
Yomus is
seen, and just
busted, personally, I think.
yeah, definitely gonna get probably looked at all these items that just came out as we get a Zaya coming in, which is kind of interesting. I feel like the ultimate is definitely a good save once the Kha'Zix.
Yeah,
And the Ari, but generally, I guess since Nautilus and Cho'Gath want to kite into the Zaya, if they get any
yeah.
fights in the jungle, it's gonna be a pretty tough situation for furry
It's
supporters.
also really good for the side of 4-0. 4-0 is one of those teams that really just want to go in, and you're not going to be seeing a lot of peel going onto the Zaya. The only actual peel I would imagine for the Zaya that exists is the Lulu, and even then, she's probably going to be following someone. Zaya has, of course, the legendary R that just makes her untargetable and just immune. Alawe locked in for the side of 4-0. That is completely out of left field.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
very curious to see how that 4-0 decides to play. Their comp as Elias, pretty known as a very like lane dominant split pusher. She's not really good in those team
yeah.
fights unless they have a lot of a priority to set up tentacles around Baron or Dragon Pit, which we'll see how they play around that.
Yeah, Alao is also one of those champions. Well, we're gonna want to see what she builds, or just keep an eye on her because we want to know whether she's gonna go full hole breaker and just play split because this is a casual tournament, pseudo casual. So yeah, the Nara is locked in for the side of fairy supporters.
I
And
think
can I just
this
say,
is
wait,
a Cho'Gath bot lane.
wait, Choga at the bot lane.
With the Nautilus, it's Cho'Gath
That
bot
is,
was like experimented with a little bit earlier in the season.
yeah, that is actually very functional, but also super surprising. Cho'Gath functions very well in the bot lane because of his passive. He just kind of lives. That
Yeah,
regeneration and mana on death on each minion death is not to be scoffed at. Having been a very bad player once in my life, I did not know why Cho'Gath was healing, and man, I I died. But yeah, these teams are looking spicy, honestly.
Yeah, no, we definitely off to a very interesting first draft going into the first game.
Yeah, these first drafts are just actually nuts. These are like champions you would not expect to be chosen in the early, at least the allow it. It's definitely something I would never expect to be chosen. Furry supporters just opted for just straight up no ADC. The Cho'Gath, do you think he's gonna go full AP or or just more of a bruiser tank?
It is likely going to be some sort of more damage, maybe more of like a bruiser build. Going in, I do think that'll be a hard time. I would have liked to see some more ADC bans coming on the side of first supporters, especially since they're
Yeah.
drafting this kind of comp. If they decide to pick like an Ashe or something, I think that laning would have been impossible for them, quite frankly.
Yeah, absolutely. The utility on Ashe is actually nuts, but let's talk about the champions that have been drafted. The Gnar is honestly a really good pick for the side of first supporters. It just combos very well into the Cho'Gath and the Nautilus. It just has that wombo combo potential that you're looking for. But it's also just one of those champions that do you really want to team fight 4-0 here? They have the Swain, they have Vi, they have Alawi and Zion Lulu. It's just really hard for first supporters to just look for a good fight in the late game.
Yeah, I definitely do favor foreigners drafts going into this game. I think that Philly supporters will have to play around just the Nautilus and Kha'Zix kind of coordinating roams together off different timers, see if they can find some picks either in the enemy jungle or just, three manning mid or top, or even try to get a dive in because they do have quite a bit of sustainability in terms of like that dive with the chain CC,
Mhm.
Cho'Gath knockup,
Yeah.
Nautilus.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we get into the loading screen here, we're gonna be seeing a lot of locks in, a lot of locks in. Locks. Frick, I can't speak right now. A lot of locks in. We got the blind pick instant draft. We're gonna be going to a short spectre delay soon, but in the meantime, let's thank our sponsors real quick. Shout out to Adobe for getting us funding and prizing for this tournament, and Gen G for giving us our wonderful land equipment that these players are currently playing on. Got any thoughts about these teams? Any predictions on who's gonna be swinging in and winning?
Yeah, definitely. Vi, I'm not sure how these junglers play, obviously, but like Vi can do a lot of very creative ganking. A roost to the jungle, they could do a three camp, it's a mid, or especially because I think that's the mid matchup is going to be pretty war of attrition based. I don't think
Yeah,
either mid laner is going to be in much of an angle to solo kill one another.
yeah.
I think yeah. Any thoughts?
Honestly, a lot of these lanes are super, super safe. You got the Swain Ari. There's not gonna be a lot happening in mid lane unless the jungler shows up. There's not gonna be a lot happening top lane unless the jungler shows up. There's not gonna be there could be a lot happening bot, honestly. Bot lane seems the most volatile here. It's two melee into Xayah Lulu. For all we know, it could just swing any other way, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, for sure.
But anyways, with that, we're gonna be going into a short specter delay. See you guys soon on the Rift in about 4 to 3 minutes. I guess we are back into it here with Summer's Rift on the blue side and red side. Blue side, we have 4 and 0. Oh, once again, let's just get introductions out of the way. Hi, I'm Martin.
And hi, I'm Ethan.
Yeah. And then we have 4 and 0 on the blue side versus furry supporters on the red side. On blue team, we have Gucci in the top lane on Vive. Or no, Jungle actually. Pop, Aspen. Oh, there's going to be an early game invade. Nollis is leading here. The Swain E hits forward. Here comes the hook, not thrown out yet. Poppins goes to dropping really low. First blood going down to Ella White 111 and knock up once again. That is not a good invade for the side of first supporters, especially if you're the one leading it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely gonna be a little tough given the, ADC getting the items, especially because right now, since with the new patch update, ADC items obviously got a huge change. Then Xayah getting that extra longsword coming in could mean that she gets her mythic online at like a one base early compared to the enemy, especially since Cho'Gath is gonna have a pretty hard time farming against the double
Yeah.
range.
The longsword definitely just negates a lot of the Cho'Gath passive, and he really has to play a lot more carefully. Sheep is going to be in a lot of trouble because he also has no pots. Is this the Nemesis strat? Does he have gold held on right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like I didn't check because they happened so
Yeah.
fast, but he might have chosen to not buy full pots. I mean, I think one thing you can do is if you get that first blood 400 gold, you can start buying more expensive items on your first space. Like he could have bought
Yeah.
maybe a corrupting instead of like going for regular pots. But you know, cute little trade happening in the mid lane. Not too much
Yeah.
going on right now.
Not a lot going up on the map. Junglers are just doing their standard starts, but Vi, you can see the rush on the Vi. She's already topside clearing blue on the minimap, but we're here in the bot lane. Sheep, Sheep did start off with Sapphire Crystal, and he has teleport. What do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely something more based on, having to farm long range with his Q.
Yeah,
And having to base pretty often means that just having teleport up means trying to minimize the CS loss. Playing this melee champ, and definitely Vice pathing, looking to be an early game towards the top lane. Nor has not used the ward yet, and there seems to be no pings going on there. So,
yeah,
as Nars has that range champion, he gets that early push prio, but
yeah.
because of that and
Vi
the
gets
lack
this free
of
gank.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Firo, however, is gonna get the Mignar. That is pretty bad. Oh, just free damage, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, the timing of that was a little unfortunate. I mean, Nar hit level 3 because of the wave priority, so
Yeah,
Vi's not gonna get too much off that. Kha'Zix, during that time, was able to clear his entire bot side, working towards that top side. Vi will like
yeah,
that to make her way towards that bot lane, because I don't think she'll be able to contest that Scuttle Crab.
absolutely. There's gonna be a lot of priority on the side of bot side. Anyways, that's a free hook onto M Striker 11, but it's not gonna do much here. There's not. Well, Cho'Gath doesn't have a lot of damage right now. It's just a Sapphire Crystal.
Yeah, and just, pop yours to mid lane. Vi did make a little peek mid, but Mr. President John Doe on the Ahri was able to dodge any potential tragedy, and Vi was just like clearing her bot side.
Yeah, and this is pretty good for the side of her supporters right now. Despite that early game flunk, they're pulling in pretty bad. They're pulling back pretty well.
Yeah, no, I mean, Cho'Gath is taking an early base to get that lost chapter in to, hopefully minimize any further bases that will need to take in early. Lulu is being poked out a little, but because of the push priority coming in from the Xayah, any damage onto Lulu, or honestly either champions, will just be traded for, wave push and then
Yeah,
a better wave
Gucci here with a
timing.
mid lane gank, charging up that Q. Is it gonna be enough? No, but Pop Aspen is here in the top side. We're back in the mid lane. Charm onto Gucci. Fira has slain Pop Aspen. Direct to Cam. Where are you going, brother?
Yeah, we saw a pretty good opening taken by Friendly Agril on the Kha'Zix right there. Always push a little forward with no vision. Should have known that because his Vi's on the bot side that there's a lot of priority going and Kha'Zix would be starting bot to top, and I think that could be pretty easily communicated just through a
Yeah.
little intuition, but
Yeah, Kai Wen landing that E onto John the Ho. Is it going to be enough, though? There's going to be a lot of shotgun blasts coming in from Kai Wen, and that's a lot of damage getting dropped. Also, I'm surprised both junglers are playing for topside here.
yeah, I definitely think that's I mean Nar himself should be able to like fend off this ally pretty decently. Um but also just because of the nature of the champion, you don't want ally to like, be able to get a lead against the star and then potentially just start the walling in terms of a split push.
Yeah. Also, I just realized I was watching the wrong stream. It can't be a collegiate stream without a little bit of scuff, right? Classic.
Yeah, of course. But Yeah, I mean, we just have standard lane phase things going on. So just look at the pathing. Kha'Zix
Mhm.
definitely clearing more towards a pretty standard full clear. He'll be taking those Raptors and going to Krugs, heading towards top lane. But I don't think there's much of an angle at this point anymore. Um, Given Mega Gnar's pretty far off. But honestly, I think Kha'Zix should just be trying to, you know, get his clears down, maybe look for something towards the
Yeah.
bot lane. I do think that Cho'Gath getting a bail. I mean, Cho'Gath is doing extremely well on the farm, even
Yeah.
beating out this Xayah currently.
Yeah, surprisingly as a melee champion and with the early game first blood onto Alawite 111. I'm just gonna say Alawite. It's a lot of gold. Like surprisingly, 10 damage is it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot in the early game when everyone has just 600 health bars. But as you can see here, Sheep is getting absolutely decimated by Alawite. That longsword coming in. There's not gonna be a lot. The blade feather is not blade collar is not gonna be enough to do enough damage to kill Sheep Groper. But look, this is the point of Cho'Gath bot. You just get to survive.
Yeah, definitely. But right here, the
Yeah.
big point is that Cho'Gath did use their teleport early to kind of get
Yeah.
the lost chapter and keeps him sustained. But now that he's chunked out, it's going to be really hard for him to try to reclaim these. He will be restoring his health very gradually with every
Yeah.
minion that dies to the tower. But at the current moment, it's pretty hard for them to try to
Oh
force
my
an all
god,
in.
Kai win with a sidestep. That was kind of nuts. Sidestepping the charm. We have Gucci in the bot. We might be seeing a river skirmish here. Gucci starting up that Q friendly. Agro might be in trouble. John the Hole comes in with the Spirit Rush. M Striker 11 is now here. Gucci is doing a lot of damage. Allow it. That's going to be friendly. Agro taking down M Striker 11. Nautilus flashes over the wall. That's going to be a lot of damage drop. John the Hole kills Alaway. Kai Win flashes in with the Demonic Ascension. It's going to be enough. It's 4v1. This is looking really bad for the side of foreign. Oh, that's a lot of damage getting dropped. It's going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. Kai Win is stuck in a bad place. He gets one kill. And friendly Agro drops, but he does pick up another kill onto Kai Win. Well played for both sides there, but really unfortunate for the side of 4-0. Oh, you hate to see it, but John the Ho is now 2-0.
Yeah, that's a pretty, pretty honestly tragic case for the bot lane right there. Cho'Gath still being alive. I mean, both bot laners falling for the side. A 4-0 means that they can't push out this wave, and so Cho'Gath gets a free base, up about 2 waves of minions, which is about like I believe like almost a kill worth of gold. And which is this Cho'Gath is pretty much
Yeah,
equalized any gold difference between him and Xayah from the early game.
pretty much, basically. And Cho'Gath is doing very well, even with that early game kill. And these kills are going to the players where you want to go. Friendly Igro getting those 2 kills, John the Ho getting those 2 kills. A lot of these damage dealers on the side of furry supporters are getting the kills that you want.
Definitely. I mean, Fairly Agril did greed a little bit for that last kill right there. I think he
Oh
would have
yeah,
gotten the
definitely.
kill credit right there and would have gotten his stack
Yeah.
for likely Bounty Hunter, which means the extra gold. But Pretty One Back isn't the worst case scenario at all, especially with that many kills going over to their side.
Yeah, especially in a pseudo casual tournament setting, you got to go for it, man. It's for the fun.
100%.
Yeah, and let's talk about these builds real quick. Do you think Friendly Azrael is gonna opt for the Duskblade or the Yomus?
I actually don't exactly know if they have different build paths, but
Oh
there is
wait,
Vi soloing the Drake.
Gucci just picked up Chemtech Dragon? That's unexpected. Pop Aspen getting absolutely demolished by Firo. Slammed into the wall. Pop Aspen. Tentacles is not doing enough. Tentacle Smash does come out. It's not going to be enough. The Test of Spirit just whiffs. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, Ally Tentacles, all ability is pretty sluggish in general, and with Gnar being the range champion he is, and the potential bounce if he ever does need to get away from the Laoi or any Tentacles coming in, means that it's pretty hard for Ally to lock down this Gnar.
Yeah, but you can see that Corrupting Pot coming in. She's already back where she was after that initial 1v1 duel. But Friendly Agro, topside jungle, is it possible to dive a Laoi? Do you think?
I mean, Ally having ult up at this moment and having grasp means that access to
Oh,
result tree with that beautiful E coming in from
yeah.
this lane.
That never move always just lands. John the Ho, despite being 2 kills up, is taking a lot of damage from Kaiwin.
Yeah, but it's not too much of a concern because
Yeah,
without any gank presence coming in, it's very unlikely that Ahri will be a 100 to 0 by this lane.
yeah. And furry supporters are just making really good macro plays here. They're just pretty, like the jungle tracking here is just immaculate. There's gonna be Gucci stuck in a hard place, a rock in a hard place, and John the Ho is gonna be able to scare that away. Nothing's gonna be happening here, but that's League of Legends.
Yeah, as we do have another reset coming in from the bottom lane.
Yeah.
Almost canceling that base just another second, and we do get
Oh,
cancel on the
yeah.
Nautilus ultimately because it's the support. It's not gonna matter too much. And honestly, with this base timer, you could try to match up with this jungle and try to force something top as Alawi is likely gonna be forced to stay up here for quite a bit longer.
Yeah. She does have the teleport up, so she does have the option of just going back. Objective timers are yes. But with the dragon recently taken, Riftro should be coming up in about 2 minutes. We're gonna be seeing a lot of plays still in the top side, surprisingly. I really want to see more happen in the bot side because you see Sheep, he is level 8, Allow is level 7. Dude, that's the power of just leaving your ADC alone.
Yeah,
Gucci
and
face
with
checks. John the whole face checks into Gucci, has to drop the spirit rush, gets the charm off. Cowan is here, but nothing's gonna come out of it unless nothing comes out of it.
Yeah, I would like to see more proactivity from Divide. That was a good little trade right there.
Yeah.
Again, with mid being such a war of attrition state right now with 2 control mages going in there. I mean, Ari will take the space and just TP back to lane without having to lose much, but having to burn that TP, especially when it's about to become unleashed TP soon, means that that's one thing, less thing to worry about if, say, the team wants to rotate up towards early Rift Herald.
Yeah, and keep in mind, on the side of first supporters, they have 3 teleports in their entire arsenal. John the Ho has to drop it, but Sheep and Firo both have the teleport, and that's going to be very viable. Vi coming in, assault and battery onto the. I can't tell who that is. Sheep. Oh, Sheep is dead. Alawi picks up one. That's a never move onto the Nautilus. That's gonna be huge for the side of 4-0. They're gonna be going in. John the Ho and Friendly Agro are not stuck 2v3. Kai Wen still demonic ascension. Never move catches the Kha'Zix. Kai Wen and M Striker 11 picks up the kill onto Friendly Agro. That is absolutely nuts and amazing for the side of. Oh, Firo gets the R off. Pop Aspen looking to trade the Test of Spirit. Never underestimate and allow it, man. Kai Wen gets another never move. Dude, these never moves are just never missing.
Yeah,
That's a
actually,
lot of damage.
good bit of damage coming in with these Swain trades, and he does seem to be coming in off the top of most of these exchanges. The sword shoes with the extra magic thing are coming in pretty huge for these short trades that Sheep Roper is trying, or Sheep is trying to send off these minions under his
Yeah.
tower.
1v1 back in the mid lane. John the Ho has to drop the Spirit Rush, but Gucci's in the brush looking for it.
It's positioned very aggressively for this fight to
Yeah.
potentially capitalize on
No more
him.
dashes. Charges the Charm Vault Breaker. Charge Flash. Flash from both sides. Here's the E. Shut down going to Gucci. That's going to be absolutely huge for the side of 4-0. And the Rifter is dropped on the bot side. 3 plates on the bot side tower. Is that going to be enough to take it? I don't know where the HP is at. We'll see soon.
And Kha'Zix is trying to, Friendly Angel is trying to potentially go back mid and pick up a kill, but because of that auto, they did spot him on the ward in the river right there in that tri-bush, and so they likely will be able to get out safe. But actually, Kha'Zix is right behind them.
Friendly Agro, the Yom is coming in. One shot. Gucci. Kai Wen flashes forward. Has to flash away. Never move. Drops. Lands. He pulls. Is it going to be enough for Friendly Agro to catch up, though? Kai Wen's under second tier 2. The W lands. Is going to be a dive. No, it is not. Kai Wen gets to walk away from that. Just barely hanging on. And that's going to be their jungle going to the side of furry supporters.
Yeah, I do think that going for that Skull Crab was a bit of a greedy play right there. I mean, right here, potentially Farah can just walk out,
Yeah.
because getting Alawi ulted right in that pit right there would be very bad, especially because the Kha'Zix is a pretty squishy champion. But yeah, Firo seems to be just walking out with that Mega Gnar, that extra HP, just letting him keep health.
Yeah, again, I'm really curious on whether or not Pop Aspen is going to opt for the Hole Breaker strat. Is he going to look just to split, or are we going to be seeing more team fights off of Pop Aspen with the teleport plays? What do you think?
Given the layout of this, yeah, I do feel like team fights should be on their mind. They have definitely a stronger 5v5 if they stick together without the Kha'Zix wreaking havoc on some mispositioned member. But this dragon does seem to be going over to the side of furry supporters. Not much to contest there. There's no vision set up by the side of 4-0, and there's a cute little trade happening in the top lane.
Kilo trade happening in the top lane. Pop Aspen just absolutely smashes Fyro. That's going to be a lot of damage coming in from this, the W. It's just a lot of damage, man. And
Yeah.
let's just point out about let's point out the map a little bit. We have on the side of furry supporters up 3,000 gold. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, definitely. They're in a super strong position. They're up a kill, but on top of the kill, they also got they also picked the Infernal Drake, which I do think is higher value than the Kent Drake, especially this early in the laning phase. I mean, with all these, trick trades going on, especially with the ranged champions bot lane, just adds
Yeah.
that extra power.
First support is just absolutely out macroing 0 4 and 0 right now. You just have so much jungle invades or just jungle pickups from the side of first supporters that you can just see the CS difference between Gucci and Friendly Aggro. Friendly Aggro is up almost 40 CS in jungle camps. That is absolutely nuts. Gucci's going to be looking for the Rift Hero, but Pop Aspen is going to be pressuring top side. Will they opt for the river fight as Pop Aspen pops the R? There's going to be a lot of damage going to drop. R, flash from both sides. Pop Aspen is one, or no, Firo is one, and Pop Aspen picks up a kill on the top side. Kai Wayne is 1v1 in the bot, but what happened to Rift Hero? Pop Aspen be able to Friendly Aggro goes in. It's going to be a lot of damage going to drop. The healing coming in. Oh my goodness. That was closer than I liked it to be for the side of Friendly Aggros.
Yeah, and with Friendly Aggro picking up that kill top lane along with the Rift Herald means that with the bot tower already being taken by the side of furry supporters, that if that Rift Herald is dropped mid, potentially with timing with the next Drake, that's just a free dragon, free broad lane priority. And at this point, Gucci already being down so far in their own jungle, already still having around 5 camps, or a little less than 5 because of the jungle item, but still quite a bit away from the item while Friendly Aggro has finished his Gust Walker already. Actually, for a minute now. So much more map control is being taken by his colleagues, and everyone kind of has to take kind of a second glance about where they're stepping because their own jungle themselves is like no vision, and this Kha'Zix could be anywhere, especially with that enhanced movement speed.
Yeah, and Kha'Zix is absolutely so ahead right now. Now he is an entire item up ahead of Gucci. He has the Black Cleaver and the Yomus, while Gucci only has the Black Cleaver. That's a lot of damage that you're missing from the side of Gucci, who has Hail Blade. You're looking for the Assassin Vi build, but who are you gonna be realistically gonna be able to assassinate here, other than John the Hole and Friendly Aggro, who again are their full carries? Oh, Pop Aspen's a little bit of trouble here. R does not get to be dropped. That's a lot of CC.
Yeah, at this point, I think that's there needs to be a little more organized, coordinated play around these fights. I mean, at this point, the experience difference between bot lanes getting pretty rough, especially with Cho'Gath getting their full item. And it's because with it being the Mythic with Everfrost means that anyone caught by a Nautilus hook is getting hit by that Nautilus auto attack roots from the passive and then an Everfrost activation, which would keep them locked up.
Yeah, Friendly Aggro is going to look to dive. Here comes the R getting dropped for Vi. Oh, that's a shutdown going towards Gucci. John the Hole does pick. Oh no, Sheep Groper actually picked up the go onto Gucci. Blue turret does get popped. That's going to be 2 Rift Turrets for the side of Kai wins in the back. Demonic Exchanger drop. John the Hole has to Spirit Rush out. Poppy's Ghost is running away. Heroes now here. That's going to be M Striker 11 being in a lot of trouble. The Wild Growth is popped. Kai Win picks up another kill. These teams are just back and forth, man.
There definitely seems to be a lot of forced fighting, especially because I don't think that the Kha'Zix had to have necessarily jumped in with his Z and dies before the Rift Herald actually broke that tower, because that tower is in one-shot range anyway. So I think there's a little bit of mechanical misplay in terms of coordinating that dive from the side of furry supporters. Like, honestly, just gives 4-0 a little bit of an in back into the game.
Absolutely. You have to appreciate the mechanical misplays because limit testing is the core strat of every single solo queue player. I'm just putting that out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, some solo queue tendencies tend to come out, especially when you're not as practiced necessarily. I mean, some of these picks for sure have not seen the stages of any major regions,
in a while, in quite a long while. Yeah, I haven't seen an allow in literal ages, honestly.
Yeah, no, that's definitely one of the more forgotten champions in this game. Definitely more annoying to play with. I think the boss definitely has a little bit of trademark on a certain style with that champion, but
yeah. But as the next dragon is going to be coming up, we're going to be seeing on the M Striker 11 face checks to John the Hole is going to be enough to kill. Ooh, nah. We're good. Kai Wen, the never move lands on John the Hole. He does have Spirit Rush. Demonic Ascension is dropped. The knockup is here. That's going to be a Charm getting dropped. That is a huge team fight. OT Friendly Aggro is going in. He's rushing Kai Wen. Kai Wen's dropping real low. Never move lands again. Flashes forward from away. Pop Aspen is in the corridor. Friendly Aggro drops. That's going to be Kai Wen dropping real low. However, Gucci just get the Q onto John the Hole. Allow it. Picks up John the Hole. Pop the skill has to get away. Does he have flashes over the wall? And that's going to be a really bad trade for the side of furry supporters, man.
Yeah, we
For
do
an
see
yeah.
that, yeah, Friendly Egg Roll did overextend a little bit with that E into blind vision, missing the Q because of Kylan leaving vision with that flash. You know, that Q was canceled from the Kha'Zix, and he ended up being in front of the entire team, which means no more isolation, extra damage, which means no finishing kills, which means no resets. And at this point, that's pretty detrimental to anything going on with those fights, and with the player down and the Nullis getting caught out soon after, along with John. Um, it was pretty raps at that moment.
Yeah, dude, like I'm saying, these never moves are just never missing. Unfortunately for the side of first support, Sphero was in the top side. He was able to pick up a turret, but there was no teleport for Gnar. I feel like Gnar is quite critical in these team fights for the side of first supporters. But let's just talk about how well 4-0 was able to play that fight. Kai Wen and Gucci coming in out of vision. That was just absolutely nuts.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, Kyle has been a pretty instrumental part to all of these early game fights, and
Hmm.
with both Swain and Zaya getting all the kills and gold on this team, we are seeing a pretty formidable force coming up in these team fights.
Yeah.
With Zaya finishing the very quick play, she will have her W up at all moments, which means she'll have extended attack speed and extra damage on all of her autos in these
Yeah,
fights.
and you can see first supporters opting to do the Baron immediately as soon as they spotted Gucci in the bot side. They don't have an ADC though, so I'm curious on how much damage they're going to be realistically able to do to the Baron. Pop Aspen is distracted to chasing the Firo, but we have Gucci and M Striker allow it. They're going to be in a back spot. John the whole friendly Egg will just dash on out of there.
Yeah, the OCC, I mean, in that situation, I don't think that starting Baron is very smart. I mean, they do have damage because of Causes being so far ahead with those isolate Qs on the Baron, but ultimately, without any form of real threat, I mean, Ari and Cho'Gath aren't exactly sustained extended damage champions,
Yeah.
damage champions, so it's a little tough for them to try to force that there.
Yeah, they don't have exactly the best objective clearing team, but they do have a very wonderful objective stealing team. Kha'Zix with the stealth, Cho'Gath with the feast, of course. Is that's just a lot of damage onto the objectives that you're not going to be expecting. And Firo in the top lane, Gucci looks onto Poppy King, Vault Breaker, and Poppy's skills is just running away. Allow it. Here comes the Feather Call. The Blade Caller does pick up a kill onto Poppy's skills. Firo is in a really bad spot, and he's just going to fall 4v1. Unfortunately, not much you can do there, buddy.
Yeah, at this point, I feel like we're seeing the power of kind of the coordinated plays that Vi can make alongside this Zaya who's pretty fed right now, and she will, I mean, not have the Gale Force active to her at this point because of the changes this season, but she will have a lot of
Yeah.
damage.
In turn, we're going to be seeing 4-0 do this Baron. However, Friendly Agro is up and he is hovering around with Smite. Teleport dropping in from John the Ho. That's going to be enough to scare them off. And you see that W poke damage. John the Ho rushes in with a charm, misses. The Blade Caller coming in, misses as well. Oh, lots of whips going on both sides of the team. Friendly Arrow drops in the Q. M Striker 11 just barely gets out with 1 HP. M Striker 11 picks up another kill. And John the Ho has to just get on out of the Vault Breaker is getting charged up. And running for the hills, John the Ho is.
Yeah, and I think that at this point, I think that Serenity Girl is getting a little desperate to get these kills in. I mean, at that point, you shouldn't be chasing Zaya that deep into the jungle, and she has that much support behind her.
Yeah, and you see the absolute the weakness of not having an ADC drafting in this team comp. They're unable to take objectives as fast as they want to.
Yeah, I think that's I mean, John is pretty renowned for his RE gameplay being I believe his most played champion, not highest mastery, but so I do think that's something with more sustained damage than Ari, because Ari is more of a lockdown unit. I think they have
Yeah,
enough CC with the Cho'Gath and the Nautilus. That's something that might provide more sustained teamfight damage, might have been a better pick.
yeah. A lot of the picks on the side of furry supporters is looking to just catch out someone, and it's really hard to do when you're trying to catch out Isaiah or is Swain who really wants to just fight. Aspen really wants to fight 1v5 as well. Re- Realistically, who are you going to catch out on the side of 4-0?
Yeah, and especially again with the new items coming out, I feel like not having
Hmm.
someone that is able to utilize these new items that are so strong in this patch is pretty hard to deal with. I mean, we already see how powerful this Kha'Zix was early with getting that fast Youmuu's, and new speed, extra damage coming in.
Yeah, the Yomis is actually nuts in my humble opinion. It just offers so much for so little. You got the extra lethality, you got the extra movement speed, and you just have a lot of just utility on that one item alone. But you can see here that after all these extended team fights, 4-0 was able to just turn the tides, and now they're up 3 code. But John the Ho is in trouble. Vault Breaker, Assault and Battery just falls. John the hole down in the jungle, and he's gonna drop to Vi. Pop
Yeah, at
Aspen is
this
still on the
point we
top side.
see
Yeah, so
see not only the gold switching back, the lead
yeah,
switching over to 4-0, but also the XP. At this point in the game, the jungle difference, camp difference in Kha'Zix and Vi isn't gonna be too much because at this point having 2 items is kind of where Vi is expected to
yeah.
be and kind of where she'll get the most utility as
Poppy
Poppy
skills. The
skills
depth
does.
charge, the demonic ascension is dropped. It's gonna be enough to Zonius shut down. Going towards Sheep Groper. Friendly Igro is looking onto Ilau 1-1-1, but it's not gonna be enough.
Yeah, and a very aggressive Featherstorm forward by the side of Lowite on 4-0, and we do see Alawi
Yeah.
at this point, level 15. I do think Coldbreaker would be pretty strong at this point with that many
Yeah,
base stats coming in.
absolutely. Pop Aspen is just he's just hanging out on the top side, and just not a lot the side of first supporters can honestly do to her. They don't have the damage to kill her without Sheep Groper. Gucci's just looking to weapon when Poppy skills, Sheep Groper showing up. Yeah, it's just gonna be a short trade. Nothing much gonna happen there.
At this point, with the Divine Thunder and the Black Cleaver on 2 champions, at this point, when the Nautilus and Cho'Gath walk up, they'll just be armor shredded at that point. They'll be easy pickings for the Xayah.
Absolutely. And Laue does have Navori Quick Blades and the Storm Razor and a Dominic's completed. That's a lot of damage right there, folks. And Navori Quick Blades on Xayah is just so good. I know, I'm a huge fan of Navori, personally.
Yeah, I love that item too.
It's so fun.
Yeah, looking forward, they are on soul point at this point. I
Yeah.
mean, furry supporters are at a pretty hard position where at some point, if both the Baron and Dragon are out there, they might have to trade. Getting Baron for potential soul points, or even like having to give up
Yeah.
soul and try to force a Baron. But at this point, I don't think they can take Baron fast enough
Yeah.
to even keep 4-0 away from them when they potentially try to sneak it.
Yeah. And Ocean Soul is absolutely terrible for the side of furry supporters. Who are you legit, who's going to be able to die at that point on the side of 4-0? You have Kai Wen with a demonic ascension. That's just so much healing. Pop Aspen. Oh, it's a Laue. Never going to die. M Striker 11 has the polymorph and the wild growth. Lowite has the classic blade collar R. It's going to be a lot of just ability to not die, basically.
Yeah, especially because of them stacking double Ocean Drakes. Once they get that soul, even without the soul being utilized, the Alawi
Yeah.
will have a lot of resource sustain to just kind of keep her through that
Yeah.
split push.
Yeah. It was a very question mark pick in the beginning, but I'm starting to see the potential here. It is clicking in my head. And I'm surprised at how ahead Pop Aspen is ahead of Firo. Firo is only down 30 CS, but he's also down 2 levels.
Yeah, I think that's just a factor of the fact that Hero can't actually match Alawi long term, at least in the push. I mean, Alawi, every time Alawi is in a lane, no one can match your push unless you bring down like 2 or more members of the team to try to match her. At that point, then you're just dragging away attention so that your team can do other things on other sides of the map, which is kind of how
Yeah.
all these turrets have been dropping throughout the map. I mean, at this point, with that last tier 2 tower left on the top side, once that falls, then this entire map is pretty much free reign for the side of 4-0 to kind of go through and just take all the
Yeah.
resources.
4-0 was really playing that long con. They were so behind in the beginning that they pulled back from, honestly, a really large gold lead. 3k gold is nothing to be scoffed at, folks. That is an entire item right there. And Kai Wen is 1v1 if you're demonic ascension just dropped. And that, do you see that healing right there through the Grievous? It is actually nuts. Never move gets dropped. And then Firo is just gonna be 1 HP teleport coming in from Pop Aspen, flash forward from Kai Wen, and the shotgun hands pick up another kill. Friendly Arrow is gonna get spotted. Gucci charges up the Vault Breaker. But he does have the Edge of Night, and she might be a little bit in trouble. Oh, JK, now come Everfrost. He's gonna be able to just walk out of that just fine.
Yeah, now the entire team has rotated up, and the next objective coming up on the map is this Baron. So I feel like once they can kind of siege this tower down as a Pop Aspen does land, any onto
Yeah,
on.
that test the spirit just absolutely decimated his health bar right there. John the Ho is going to be dodging a lot of tentacles right there. But we're going to be seeing a siege top side. Kai Wen has just been perma-splitting, which is honestly kind of surprising. I expected Kai Wen to be the person that... Oh, no, he's doing the macro plays correctly, is what I should say.
Yeah, no, he is pushing out
Yeah.
that midway, so they have that priority. Once they do take, this Baron fight, which
Yeah.
at this point, Alawi was here early enough to set up these tentacles around the pit. So once
Yeah.
anyone tries to come in, which I don't think will even be a possibility for
Yeah.
them.
Friendly
little
Hero
bit-
has to look to steal, but unfortunately, it's really hard to jump into that team.
And that's
right
a
there.
massive eyeball coming from this lane.
Yeah. The eyeball just getting dropped, and Kai wins dropping the demonic ascension into their team. He walks in, friendly egg roll drops the Baron is at 18, stolen for the side of friendly egg rolls. Oh my goodness, Kai win though, dropping a lot of damage. Solo kills down the hole and a 1v3 situation. Papa Skills has to run away. Freero's on the run, and they're gonna be 3 mid lane just rushing down mid lane here. Dragon's gonna be up, and that's gonna be so, ladies and gentlemen.
At this point, I feel like, you know, good effort by friendly aggro. I'm obviously you did steal the Baron, but it is going to be costly, costing 3 members of the team, which will lead to an inhib, and potentially 2 inhibs if that top wave comes in, and then they can just run towards that soul. At this point, this game seems to be pretty set.
Yeah, this is looking pretty doomed for the side of Furry supporters. Honestly, I'm surprised at how well 4-0 was able to turn around. But back to what I was saying about Kai, when he's been showing up to the team fights at the right spot at the right time. Always there, always in the corridors, just looking around.
Yeah, I think this really shows you the power of what happens when you do set up your ways properly.
Yeah,
At this point,
absolutely.
even if the side of Forest supporters want to try to contest this dragon, just the waves are not in the state where they could do so without losing too much money. And it's because of situations like this where you do see such a big experience discrepancy between different laners, because they're not able to catch these waves, because every time they have to regroup to a fight somewhere on the map, then they're just losing 1 to 2 stacked waves every single time. And that's been going on this entire
Yeah.
game.
And it's so hard to approach the side of 4-0. Every single one of them has a point of lockdown that you do not want to contest. Test the Spirit, Vault Breaker, / Assault and Battery, Never Move on Kaiwen, and M Striker 11 with the Polymorph. It's just so hard to be able to go in, especially as 4 melees. It's just hard.
Yeah, no, definitely. And even like the Ahri with trying to get it locked down, like, she does need to try to dash away because Zaya's so far in the backline. Unless the Zaya falls, ultimately, even if everyone else on the team falls, if Zaya's still standing, she could honestly just 1v5 the team at this point in time. And that's honestly the reason why I would like to see some more ADC bans in the
Yeah.
draft.
Yeah,
Their
ADCs
comp
are
just, yeah.
pretty critical in this state. Oh, the Assault and Battery getting dropped on Sheep Groper, Alawi just dropping. Oh my goodness. He has like 5k health and he's gonna drop to half in just a couple of seconds. Whew.
That's precisely because of all that HP stacking from the
Yeah.
side of Sheep on the Cho'Gath is the reason why LDR is so effective against him, doing maximum potential extra damage, and this Zaya
Yeah.
should likely have
Oh my
cut down,
God,
especially against
Never
this
Moon
many
lands on
melee
John the whole flash forward
champions.
from Demonic Ascension by Kaiwen. Kaiwen is on a rampage. Hero drops. There are. It's gonna be enough. No, it doesn't stun anyone. It just barely whiffs him. Striker 11 is in the middle of trouble. He pops. Kaiwen is gonna be rushing down, and that's gonna be game. I think going towards 4-0. Gucci flashes forward with the Vault Breaker, but it's not gonna be enough to catch up from the Agros, who just barely slips away. Not much he can do here though, as he's gonna have to watch his base drop here.
Yeah, and as the turrets fall, we kind of come to a close to this first game and kind of see, you know, what potential adaptations furry supporters and even what 4-0 might try to make going into this next game.
Yeah. That's gonna be a little bit e-bullying right there, and that's game 1 going towards the side of 4-0. Yeah, that was honestly really well played for the side of 4-0, and with that, we're gonna be taking a short delay as we get into our next game. See you guys very soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary pals, we are back. I am Martin. This is my co-caster here.
Ethan.
Yeah. And once again, we are back with furry supporters versus 4 and O. Furry supporters this time on the blue side and 4 and O on the red side. But let's take a moment to thank our sponsors real quick. Thank you, Adobe, for funding this tournament. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Adobe, for sponsoring this tournament and funding the prizes, and Gen G for providing equipment for our players. Thank you for these wonderful, wonderful blessings, man. But anyways, let's get on with the game. 4 and 0 furry supporters are throwing out the bans. Swain getting banned for the side of furry or the furry supporters are banning the Swain from last game. Kaiwen was just absolutely demolishing them with a never move. And like I said, never misses. Jackson Ennies are getting dropped. And we have 4 and 0 banning Sion, Singed, and Cho'Gath. And furry supporters instant locks the Graves. Whew. It's gonna be a spicy game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, taking away the Cho'Gath is just pretty interesting because I feel like the Cho'Gath was not like a high priority thing in the game. Kog'Maw is very interesting. It's just with new items. If they go to Lake A, they can lock the Kog'Maw Lulu. It's kind of guaranteed playing for scaling.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're looking to lock in Kog'Maw first pick here for the side of 4 and 0. R1 Kog'Maw. That's really ballsy, I'll be honest. It is just you have confidence right there.
Yeah, I think that it actually should be fine overall because they did get the Cog Lulu. They could just kind of devote themselves to playing the weak side and just kind of going for easy scaling because,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as long as they don't give too many resources and too many objectives too early to the Graves, then the late game should be going fine as that is a Karthus
Oh,
pick coming in.
Karthus. Does John the Ho play Karthus that much? I feel like that Karthus is honestly a really good pick, especially with Graves. That's just a dude smoke screen wall. That's so annoying.
This is really interesting because I do think that Graves top is a potential flex.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
then Karthus can go into the jungle. Karthus can obviously play uh, ADC as well, or I guess APC,
Yeah,
just play go bot lane. I do think that he does tend to struggle a little more into solo lanes, but that is historically where he used to be, and so he
yeah.
could always potentially go into there and just kind of try to gain some value with first strike.
Yeah, and 4 and 0 is just sticking to what works. They have almost the exact same team comp right now, other than the ADC. For our supporters, honestly, they're mending a lot of the things wrong with their last team comp. They have a consistent source of damage on the jungler and the possible. Well, we don't know if it's jungler or bot. Graves can honestly just go anywhere. Same with Karthus. But yeah, we're gonna be seeing more bans coming out. 4 and 0 recognizes Karthus could be a flex pick and bans the Ari. I'm expecting to see not I don't know. There wasn't any particular bans other than like the Lulu, I would say. But we're gonna be seeing a Pantheon ban getting dropped.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, banning away, I mean, actually, it is pretty confusing where first supporters is sending their champions, but at this point, I feel like banning things that certain players are uncomfortable against might be
Yeah.
the easiest course of action.
Yeah. One thing's for certain, the Karma is probably gonna be support, and Karma is honestly an fantastic pick into Kog'Maw and Lulu. I expect first supporters to either draft an ADC that's very aggressive here, or they send the Karthus bot, because that is not a fun lane for Kog'Maw and Lulu to be in. They are the champions that are looking to scale, while Karthus and Karma, they're going to be looking to kill you in the early game. And Akshan hover for 4 and 0.
I
Your
do think
thoughts?
that's I mean, Akshan could also be flex. We haven't seen the mid laner pick either from the side of 4-0, and so I mean this Akshan could go mid or top. I think that Karma actually should do fine in lane against this Karthus Karma. Because
Yeah.
of the W range, should be able to farm pretty safely.
KO locked in for furry supporters. Whoa, that was fast. I'm excited to see on how furry supporters is going to be playing this game now, because a lot of their champions are very late game centric, I would say.
Yeah, I do not like the lock of this Kale because at this point, then Akshan could just be role swapped or lane swapped to whatever lane the Kale is going. At that point, the Kale shouldn't be gaining too much value, if any at all.
Yeah.
We would be getting.
LeBlanc locked in. All right, we got these roles settled. It's definitely a card that's bot. LeBlanc mid. KO top. Graves Jungle and Karma support 4-0 has a pretty clear and dry cut and dry team comp where they be looking to draft a frontline Nasus. All right, spicy.
Yeah, it does seem like this auction might be going, I guess, mid to counter the LeBlanc and then the Nasus. Uh, to try to just scale alongside the Kale, but I feel like choosing a different mid later and just going auction to counter the Kale would be the most solid and easy course of action to counter that drafting decision.
Yeah, and ADCs in this patch because of the new items, they have the option of just going hybrid on hit now. Ginsu's plus Ginsu's is just honestly one of those items where I think it's a bit too much, personally. That on-hit passive is just kinda nuts. It's doing a lot of damage, it's doing a lot of magic damage in particular, and Kraken Slayer now, it also does magic damage, and that just plays very nicely with the Ginsus, I'm just saying. Kog'Maw is just gonna be an absolute threat that has to be killed in the early that has to be killed early on in these team fights. Otherwise, you're gonna be looking at just Kog'Maw just going spitting on your team really fast and just your team melting to it.
And the thing is, Kog'Maw does have a lot of options to build defensively because his main damage is the magic damage from his W doing percent health damage. Um, he could always opt to go like a Ginsu's into a Rune's Hurricane and then going into like more defensive items, going into Wit's End to counter Karthus or even a Maw or even things like randoms to prevent the crit coming in from Graves and potentially Kale who can always opt to build more of an on-hit AD build.
Yeah, and a lot of the side of first supporters are going to be struggling in this early game quite a bit. LeBlanc is one of those champions where you want to pick up a kill in the early game. LeBlanc is well known for falling off into the late, so we're probably going to be seeing a lot of just roams coming in from both mid laners. Akshan with a stealth W, and LeBlanc is going to be looking to play around the map. I hope Karthus is going to be scaling down the bot, and first support is there's a lot gambling on the Graves for just doing most of their AD damage.
Yeah, and just looking at the early game, just I think that this Vi has a lot of potential priorities going. I mean, Akshan against LeBlanc, I think that
Hmm.
that push is pretty straightforward, but the potential burst damage coming in with the Akshan passive and the Vi Ball Breaker is definitely something to look out for.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, we're going to be taking a short Spectre delay once again as we get into game two of Favorite Supporters versus 4-0. We'll see you guys very shortly. Like, hello once again. I am Martin with my co-caster here.
Ethan again.
Yeah, Ethan again. Welcome back. But anyways, let's get these teams introduction started. On the blue side, we have furry supporters with John the Ho on LeBlanc in the mid lane, Furo as a Karma support, popping skills in the top lane as KO, friendly Agro as Graves Jungle, and Sheep Groper as Karthus APC. On the red side here, you want to go and do these introductions for us?
Yeah, we got Gucci on the buy again. They saw that last game. Pop Aspen on the Nasus, M Striker on Lulu, Low Whites on Kog'Maw, and Kailing this time on the Auction.
Yeah, and thank you guys for not invading this time so we can do the introduction. Just a little bit of a friendly thing going on in the jungle right there. John the Ho hovering, Firo also hovering. A lot of people hovering. But we're probably going to just be seeing standard pathing, standard clear. Sheep
Yeah.
Groper, what? He's going to be face checked into by Alawai. Instructor is right behind them. The W gets dropped. Sheep Groper. Ooh, no, okay. Nothing pops out of that.
Yeah, a couple canceled autos in there. Definitely could have chunked Sheep out a little harder, which would have made the laning phase a lot easier, especially since Karma is going to have such strong poke priority. And they do drag the minions, but it wasn't successful.
Yeah.
So they will not be getting that extra quick level
Yeah.
2.
And Karthus is also one of those champions that are notoriously known for being super squishy. If he does get chunked, it's really hard for him to cover. And that's why Karthus takes exhaust right there. You can see that skill right. That is exhaust Karthus is just so annoying in my opinion.
Yeah, it's really interesting because Karthus often does
Oh my
tend to opt not to go for the slash, especially in the jungle.
Kai Wen,
As a
heroic swings in. That's a lot of damage getting dropped onto John the Ho. This clone is dropped. The passive is no longer active. Whew. PTA people. PTA plus auction passive, man.
Yeah, good recognition of the wave state by Kailing, realizing that because he would hit level 2 fast, that's just easy setup to a quick double auto into E, into Q passive proc, and that's just a big chunk of damage popping that passive away from the LeBlanc.
Yeah, and that's one of the things you have to be very careful about when you're laning into auction is you don't lose in lane at level 1. That is the most critical key against auction because he basically, like when he basically wins any 1v1, I think, in the early game.
Yeah, no, for sure. His passive giving you that movement speed and shield, along with kind of like a mini Kraken Slayer, definitely makes extended trades against him, especially just really not good. Especially as LeBlanc's champion, I kind of wants to kind of weave in and out of her exchanges.
Yeah, and you can see bot lane actually kind of struggling a little bit. Firo and Sheep Groper are not in a state where I feel like they are winning the lane, I would say. That those shields just from Instructor 11 is just doing work, and Eloite, it's just full health.
Yeah, and just looking at the items, I mean, going Cole on the Kog'Maw just kind of shows confidence in not dying as, you know, the LeBlanc chains do hit, but nothing much is going to come up with that exchange, especially as the Auction Shield kind of negates some of the potential damage that could have been done. But yeah, going
Oh,
back to the Kog'Maw Cole.
nice macro play from the side of Fairy supporters. Kaiwen comes in with a heroic swing that goes straight into Firo and friendly. Agro is going to be flash, going to be dropped. He is stuck, and that's going to be first blood going towards John the Ho. Ooh, that was a great roam from Firo. Also, is it just me as Firo in the support role now?
Yes. That is
Yeah.
true.
It is indeed very true. Alawe 111 is looking to fight here. Firo drops the bind, but it's not going to be enough to for them to contest. Sheepbroker is unfortunately just not in a good spot right now.
Yeah, just I mean that's kind of like the trade-off with going for that early, what's it called, river skirmish, especially as technically red side did have the priority there. So the first one
Yeah.
should not have been to the Karma. We could have had a bit of a rotation up to secure that crab, but the big thing was Kylie going for a really big commitment on the heroic swing, kind of pushing him too far.
Yeah, and you can definitely see the advantages of a mage bot lane. You're gonna have the lane priority against an ADC. It's just inevitable at that point. And with that, you get the free roam timer at the 3-minute mark, and you can just contest right there. And that's what Furry supporters did. They did that perfectly.
Yeah, what's really interesting is that Lowide is actually very fond of this early Swifty
Yeah,
boot
Swifty
rush, doing
boots.
it on the Zaya as well.
Yeah.
Um,
And honestly, it's understandable in this game. You got the gray smoke screen slowing you, you got the Karthus wall slowing you, you got the Karma RQ slowing you. There's just a lot of slows this game as well.
It's just interesting because Lobite also really enjoys going to Ghost, which kind of counteracts all those slowing abilities in those team fights. And so I was kind of wondering because Kog'Maw is one of the ADCs that gets a lot of value off of going conditioning and then going a secondary defensive boot like Merc Treads or a plate of Steel Caps that could really amp his survivability, especially as there's so much CC on the enemy team. The Merc Treads could be seeing a lot of potential value against their comp.
Yeah, but what is the point of Merc Treads if you're gonna die anyways to at least one of the 4 people that can kill you on their team? But Striker 11 fish checks into the wall. Sheep Groper is doing a lot of damage. You see that empowered Karthus Q just dropping and doing work. John the Hole has the lost chapter. That's a lot of gold onto John the Hole already, and you can see that gold coming in.
I kind of see that John is kind of forcing a big trade there, and even with
the wall here,
as a trade
friendly aggro, both flashes are being dropped. Striker 11 has to drop both summoners, and immediately pops the ghost. Striker 11 flash forward by Firo. The ignite is dropped. It's going to be another exhausted. Firo also 1 HP. Ooh, that was close for both sides there. And freaking 4-0 almost turning it around. Kai Wen, would they come up into is going to be enough? No, it is not. The clone passive once again popped, but that's going to be a great roam ability for the side of her supporters. You see here the macro plays, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. That was a great attempt. I feared obviously didn't get punished because of Sheep's, really good exhaust timing. Without the exhaust, he potentially could have just been pushed a little bit under and potentially lose his life. But because they are alive, they're able to get this Drake for free, not really have to give much back. And that's honestly this is just a good early game setup that they could be having.
Yeah, but unfortunately, when you're getting ganked, going summoner for summoner is not exactly what you want to see. And picking up no kills is also not what you want to see. Pop Aspen drops a Wither onto Poppy Skills. He's going to be walking up, Q's forward. Whether Sans is going to drop Poppy Skills, does have Divine Judgment. Flashes away instead of popping the R? That is some R discipline right there.
Definitely. Potentially might have thought that the Nasus would have still been able to stick onto the Kale even with the ults on them, but do think that the ults being traced as a flash
now level 6. Yeah. That's a lot of damage getting dropped in the Sheep Groper is not looking to trade here, but he just wants to farm, I guess.
I definitely both these champions are fine with like handshaking into the late game.
Yeah, Kog'Maw has a Cole. Sheep Groper just kind of wants to scale and just relax in the late game. So does Poppy Skills, honestly. A lot of these champions just want to scale to late game.
Yeah, it's important to note that Kailing is going Noon Quiver, which does not build into any of the new mythic items in the game. Or it might still build to Gale Force, but I don't believe that is what
Noon Quiver does not build into anything at this point. Pop Aspen drops the Wither once again onto Popping Skills. No R this time, but that's just a lot of damage for free, kind of. Not really.
This Kale has reached level 6, which means that her passive has given her a little extra range, giving her, I believe, like, 425 range. Which is enough to this, whether it be trying to punish him for trying to get stacks or just, going for these quick extended trades that Nasus can't really fight back anyways.
Yeah, and you can see the vision control on the side of bot, or on the side of, 4-0. Kai Wen is just roaming, but they know Gucci's in the middle of the enemy jungle, and he's going to have to get Vault Breaker out of there. John the Ho tries to get the chain out, but it's not going to land and connect. Unfortunately, nothing's going to be happening out there. This is quite the chill game, ladies and gentlemen.
It is. Ever since that first kill happening in that bot side jungle, not too much has been going on.
Yeah. What do you think Kai Wen's going to be opting for this game? Is he going to opt for the Stormrazor build or the Ginsu's Kraken Slayer build? Because Kraken Slayer does now do magic damage.
I do think that Kog'Maw does give actually enough magic damage. I do think that Ginsu's might be the option here, especially with but I mean Kog'Maw is a pretty versatile champion. And Akshan can then like kind of decide whether to go find them for more like a assassin lethality routes game, pick up like a collector maybe. Or maybe more like an extended like second ADC type build, but John is kind of forcing a lot of these trades, and also really, especially with missing those chains and not proccing the pass.
Malice,
yeah.
Residual Malice is landing. Unfortunately, the Ethereal chains are not But there's still a lot of damage getting dropped to Kaiwin. We can't exactly trade. Pop Aspen is running down popping skills once again. You see that Q damage coming in. Siphoning Stretch is doing a lot. Divine Judgment get dropped. Here comes the Fairy of the Sands. Wither once again. Is it going to be enough? No, he's out of mana. He can't catch up because popping skills is just sitting on the turret. And Striker 11 is playing Lulu once again, which is a great enabler. Friendly Igor now in the top lane, drops the smoke screen. Pop Aspen has to get out of here. No Ghost. R is dropped 1 HP. Friendly Igor picks up the kill. Another bot lane fight. Friendly Striker 11 picks up the kill onto Street Groper. Here comes the Karthus. R. Allow it dies, but is it going to be enough? The passive is chasing. The shield expires, and that's going to be 2 for 2 on both sides. Gucci has to get out. In the top lane here, we have a Rift Herald getting dropped. When the heck did he take Rift Herald?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff has been going on the map. We were pretty visually distracted by the,
A lot of fights.
double death passives wiping out both sides of the bot lane. Lowite flashing forward to ensure that.
Oh, the heroic swing mashes into John the Hull. That's gonna be a lot of damage. However, Kaiwin is actually doing absolutely fine, but friendly Agro is not showing up. Is a smoke screen gonna get dropped? There's the W getting dropped. It's Ignite. That's gonna be a kill for John the Hull, as they're gonna be able to shove in mid lane. Shelly's gonna be dropped. What? Sheldon is next, right? Sheldon's coming up.
Yes. But I mean, look at the map. Like, Dragon's gonna be up pretty soon, which with the way the map is going, they have some pretty good product going on. And Karthus, I mean, the ult isn't gonna be up in time for Drake, but that is a pretty ever-present fear that both sides should be aware of, just to plan upcoming decisions around. And as this Dragon is coming up, we are seeing some early vision being cleared out by Gucci, and they're going to clear that Gromp and kind of testing the waters, seeing who might be where.
Yeah, you really just have to test on where the heck friendly Aggro is going to be, because jungle tracking in this game is quite critical. As you see, friendly Aggro, he's good at jungle tracking, and with that, he's able to just get so much CS ahead. He's up so much CS ahead that he's up 2 levels.
Yeah, I mean, friendly Eggroll has been quite the power farmer in both games, and still having some pretty decent map permits alongside there, being part of 3/5 of the kills on the side of Furry supporters, and potentially looking down to get to the bot side. But it's important to note that Akshan and Vi are also kind of rotating towards that bot river side, and the vision is pretty squarely in the favor of the 4-0.
Yeah.
4-0.
4-0, just have so much vision in the bot river. John the Ho is going to be looking onto Kaiwin here. Sigil Manus is getting dropped, but not popped, unfortunately. Friendly Agro is now here. The heroic swing out of there. And they're going to be looking to shove in the mid lane here and look to set up for that dragon in response and just clear out their vision.
Yeah, and so as the vision's being kind of swept back and forth, we are seeing that they're peeking this bush, and Akshan is right behind him.
Yeah, ball breaker in. Friendly Agro does get a solid batter. Polymorph. Friendly Agro is going to drop. Here comes the Wild Girl for John the Ho. Jumps onto Gucci, but it's not going to be enough. M-Shark 11 now dodges, but the revive is back. Here comes the Requiem. Kaiwin with the come up, and Sphero is dropping to 1 HP. John the Ho misses the W, and here comes the Ethereal Chains. Ilaoi, however, just chases LeBlanc. LeBlanc is going to be at 1 HP. Turns and hits the wrong person, but that's still going to be 25 gold. Listen, when you're making money, you just make money.
That is true.
Yeah.
And this thing that Kog'Maw is going towards that Ginsu's rush. Ari has the Rage Knife online, along with the pickaxe, which means that after that fight, might be able to pick up a little more.
Yeah, and Kaiwin does appear to be opting for the Storm Razor build. He's probably going to be going for the lethality build, I think. Kind of, I hope. A lot of their team is really squishy. John the Ho looking to kill Alawi, but the flash away, it's not going to be enough as Alawi picks up a shutdown onto John the Ho. Honestly.
Yeah, surprisingly, that is going to be a solo kill.
Yeah. That was well played by Alawi, knowing how much damage he can tank from John the Ho and not dying to it.
The big thing about that is that John the Ho did have a bounty going on right there. So Lowite is able to buy his full Ginsu's upon that base alongside a recurve bow, which is just extra on-hit damage. Recurve bow gives a little bit of... I believe it's converts of physical damage to magic damage now, or is it magic damage? But it does give extra on...
Yeah,
I think it was changed to magic damage. But,
was it? I think recurve bow was the only one that stayed the same. But aside from the fact, Kog'Maw is going to be able to transition that recurve bolt into Bork, but we're gonna be seeing a Rift Throw scuffle. Oh, Red's team has stolen the Rift Throw. That's gonna be shot and picked up for the side of 4-0. 2v4. Kaiwin's heroic swings out. John the Ho now shows up. Vault Breaker's out. And Striker 11 is now has to flash out of there, and just they're gonna be able to pick up Sheldon and get out of there alive. But unfortunately, turret plates are now down. It is 15 minutes. I'm looking to see and hoping that they use the Rift Throw to try and pick up this next Ocean Drake.
Yeah. I am having a
Hello.
little bit of Wi-Fi issue. Sorry
Honestly,
about that.
Understandable. College Wi-Fi is not exactly known for being the best.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're not from around here, but Cox Wi-Fi is not the most generous benefactor of Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I would imagine. Unfortunately, the ISP is the only one there, so you get what you get. But
Yeah.
we're going to be seeing a little bit of Dragon setup here as Friendly Agro is checking into the jungle and seeing what he can pick up. Alawa and Striker Gucci are now all here. John the Ho stay in that tribe in the pixel bush. Gucci's going to drop a Assault Battery onto John the Ho. Requiem is going to get dropped. Gucci's going to die. No, he's not. That Requiem does almost no damage, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the Karthus ult is definitely going to be more of a finisher at that Dark Harvest, and I believe should have Leandries, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, Sheep Groper is now here. Poppy Skills does have the teleport, and now he is down here. Ilawa and Mame Striker 11 are in a really bad spot. They're going to get caught out here, but Ilawa is going to flash over the wall. John the Ho chases, go to, oh my god, Mame Striker 11 now in a bad spot. Pop Aspen teleports, and that's going to be a lot of damage from the side of these strikes. The Divine Judgment, Kai Win in the back. Gucci charging out the Vault Breaker, blocking himself 1 HP. John the Ho also 1 HP. Kai Win also 1 HP, misses the heroic swing. Pop Aspen in the back. The Kog'Maw passes to come up and double kill, triple kill, maybe. No, it's a 2v2 once again. Sheep Groper 1 HP. Friendly Agro, the Vault Breaker connects the shutdown going towards Friendly Agro. The Graves absolutely just demolishes the Vault Breaker, punches him over the wall, and that's a triple kill going towards Friendly Agro. Oh my goodness, folks, these fights.
That is really unfortunate misplays by Kaiwing. I think his heroic swing did just barely miss, or I guess his mouse slipped and he just shot straight into the middle of the river. But really close fight overall. The Karthus is really big now, has that Leandries fully stacked, or full Leandries on top of whatever items he's going to go on base with now, having 6 kills, a lot of gold, and just gain that base and resetting for those items.
Yeah, and you can see the advantage of having teleport on Gale. Poppy Skills was able to find a flank and catch Alowed and M-Tracker 11 in a really bad spot in the river. They were able to just capitalize on that, and with that, they were able to pick up so many kills and so many Drakes.
I think this situation you can see why I think that's having Ghost Ants with these a little redundant. I mean, the Kog'Maw could, I guess the extra move speed helps him move a little faster, but I think ultimately a little more survivability on top of having already, I believe he's going for a Wit's End.
Assault Battery onto Poppy Skills, no Divine Judgment to save her this time. Pop Aspen does not be able to get the siphoning stacks off, but Gucci does pick up a kill here.
Yeah, I do think that's I mean, MR is obviously a very high value in the situation because of
absolutely. Friendly Agro though. Yeah, Friendly Agro honestly was doing quite a bit of work that fight as well. The one source of 80 damage on their team, and he was honestly, did you see that shotgun blast versus Auction? He got one shot.
Well, no, Auction was definitely super low, but yeah, good on Friendly Agro to not kind of tunnel vision on the Vi punching him and just kind of tap the Auction away to then take care of the Vi.
Yeah, Friendly Agro playing that fight spectacularly well and just be able to pick up a kill and a Drake for his team. Things are not looking too well for the side of 4-0. However, 4-0 is, everyone is playing champions that just scale immaculately well.
Yeah, no, this scaling lake is going to be very strong. I do think that's kind of building the comp around more of these double ADCs going on for a side of 4-0 might have been a little better. I do think that the Nasus is getting kind of pretty hard, and the Wither doesn't have too much value against these champions who aren't going to be auto-attacking too much besides Kale anyways.
Yeah, but the Wither is going to be able to catch out a lot of these champions that you really want to be slow, especially with Ilaoi. Now, again, he doesn't have the survivability. He wants to run away. Ilaoi is going to be just looking to kite this entire game while Kaiwen's just hanging out in the back. Sheep Groper, oh, that's a lot of damage getting dropped from Kaiwen. A lot of damage heroic swing and runs into the Karma. Friendly Agro now getting dived. Woo, or diving. Oh, it's a 4-man dive. Kaiwen, unfortunately, drops there and not able to pick up any kills there. With Sheep Rover and Fire both dropping to 1 HP, but that's gonna be a Baron call immediately on spawn.
But as we see the pings on the map that
They
Fury
know.
supporters are at least cognizant of this being a possibility, and Kale did take the Hextech gate to kind of pat towards there, and you see LeBlanc
Yeah.
and Kale coming in, but the Graves is still pretty far away.
The vision
But
is
they
here.
will
They're gonna have to back up.
POI.
Popping skills does have divine judgment. It instantly dropped the loud weight. Oh my goodness, that damage. John the Ho drops in with a W. Oh my goodness, that Graves R absolutely demolishes their entire team. Triple kill. It's gonna be a quadra. The Mastery Flash, an ace for the side of Furry supporters. Ooh, Furry supporters coming back strong.
Absolutely insane call that John was able to kind of get there in time, and even though Poppy's kills wasn't able to pop, their ult in time to kind of buy a little more seconds, honestly bought just enough time for John to kind of get everyone just low enough to get them all one shot to the end of the line by Graves.
Yeah, and that's going to be a Baron going towards the side of Furry supporters. And honestly, that Baron is quite dangerous in this early game. They're up
Yeah,
by pay gold.
not just the Baron buff, but the up 400 per person, or
Yeah.
300 gold per
The
person.
gold, the XP, the value right here is just intense. It's immense.
Yeah, we're seeing quite the opposite of last game, where this time, I mean, we have a lot of XP difference. I mean, everyone's pretty even in XP except the junglers and the AD or the bot laners, but
Yeah.
that is quite enough, especially as that Cart Assault is going to be at a point where it's enough AP
Yeah.
to definitely chunk people out before fights.
Yeah, Furry supporters this game were able to get their early game lead once again and able to translate that into a mid game lead and still be able to use that lead and, well, not throw it this time.
Yeah, this time it is important to note that like we kind of have a mini doomsday clock in the terms of Kale's timeline to level 16 and already level 14, probably halfway there to level 15. At this point, that means that by say like 20 some minutes, there will be a level 16 Kale running around the map and just absolutely destroying everyone around her.
Yeah, and I think Nexus has about 400 stacks right now. I'm guessing from his Q damage. However, John the Ho does W and the Sigil Malice is dropping through a chain. It's gonna be enough. Gucci pops in to save his life and be like, no, it's my dog. Yeah, hey, look at that kill.
Yeah, the Kale does do a lot of damage, and especially with that Ginsu's and the lethal tempo, and of course, surprisingly doesn't have too many items, given that she hasn't been giving too many of the kills coming in. But the Ginsu's itself, along with just her passive, playing that on hit.
Yeah, my favorite part about that, just the whole interaction right there, was just friendly aggro. He's just standing there, menacingly.
Yeah,
The stats getting dropped from yeah. Here the stats getting dropped from Pop Aspen. 4v5 right here. 4v4 actually. Kai Winston on the top side. John the Ho picks up a kill onto Pop Aspen. It's not gonna be enough. Sheep Roper in the Zanya's trying to do his best, but not enough. He's not had the damage just yet. Sheep Roper is on a rampage. Shut down, going towards Allow It, which is perfect. That gold is exactly where you want that gold to be.
100%, and as they continue grabbing this third Drake on their belt, they're at soul points, pretty commanding lead, almost pretty much a little over 5k gold. That Karthus did die, gave up the shutdown, but ultimately, I mean, that Graves is just absolutely huge. And now that Shield Bow is not a mythic item, actually, Graves doesn't even have a single mythic item yet. That kind of just shows the power of
Graves. Shotgun
Graves and the new items, the Storm Razor, giving so much 1v1 potential.
Yo, Kai, when looking to weapon when John the Ho almost actually one-shots him with the heroic swing. That's a lot of damage to come up and just barely almost scratches him. Whether it's drop Pop Aspen is going to be looking onto popping skills. This is a 2-level difference, ladies and gentlemen. No ghost getting dropped just yet. The siphoning strikes, like I said, that's a lot of stacks and a lot of damage for the Sands. Now he'll allow it back. It's here for the support, and they're going to be looking to funnel all that gold into the Allow It. Which
I do think that's really
valid
smart.
strategy. Yeah, valid strategy.
I think the faster you get this Kalma into 3 items, I think, not sure exactly, I feel like that Zeal might be building into Runans. I feel like Runans or Kraken Slayer or something along those lines. And even like sustained damage isn't necessarily needed because their champions are pretty squishy that once you get the Runans, then at this point it's just a mechanical difference where you can start stacking MR. At this point, something like a Spirit Visage or even like a Force of Nature could be pretty good in trying to survive these engages.
Friendly Aggro is actually opting for more survivability here. I think he's building a Randuin's.
Yeah, I think that's very smart against these ADCs. I mean, obviously, I feel like a Frozen Heart might be a little better just because uh, two of their champions are not allowed to crit anymore.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
But
Friendly aggro 3v1 is gonna be enough. Look at that. Look at the damage he's not taking. This is 3v1, by the way. Shut down going towards Alawi. The damage not taken, not enough to survive that entire fight encounter. Sheepgrover has to drop the Zanyas. You see that E damage coming in. John the Ho clones drops. John the Ho also in the back, but come up and nearly come up into him. Pop Aspen trying to survive with a life steal. Popping skills is almost level 16. Though Alawi doing a lot of damage there, man.
yeah, and
Lots of
especially
damage.
without friendly aggro, then these fights get a lot more precarious because there's no one to really kind of force
Oh,
Kog'Maw to
Kaiwen.
run away.
Heroic Swings out Pharaoh with the bind. Not gonna be enough though. It's a 3v1 here. Anyways, what about the Kog'Maw?
And the Kog'Maw actually just picking up friendly aggro is really huge because that is a 1,000 gold bounty that he just got, and now he instantly buys that rune ends, which means that in these fights, as long as he finds the good positioning, has that ghost up, has the Lulu, has picks on him, giving extra auto attacks, a little more oomph to him, then this Kog'Maw is actually in the position where even though he's down in XP, he's definitely not down in damage.
Absolutely. Level 13 Kog'Maw is nothing to be scoffed at. He does have 3 items plus the last whisper. That's gonna be a lot of damage, folks, right there. The real question is Kog'Maw gonna be able to survive these early game team fights? Because Poppy skills is almost at level 16. Graves is level 16. Friendly aggro. Honestly, power farming. Props to him. Level 16 at 26 minutes is nothing to be scoffed at as the jungler of all things.
But this point, I feel like the biggest concern to Kog'Maw's safety is actually only really the LeBlanc. Everyone else should be getting peeled away by the Vi and the Nasus. And everyone in the backline should actually just be afraid of Auction potentially, staying invisible in the backline and just kind of being a general nuisance overall.
Yeah, we haven't been seeing a lot of revives this game because Auction has been forced to match a lot of the split pushing lanes. And that's surprising because Pop Aspen is the one with the teleport here.
Yeah, and Paul Basson just simply put doesn't have like the wave clear or the ability to deal with Kale at this point in the game, and everyone being so ranged just means that I mean the Frozen Heart coming out from Pop Aspen I don't really like because the only champion that's really affecting.
Melton. Gucci goes in, the Vault Breaker comes in, the Viral Growth is also here. He's gonna drop, and that's gonna be end of the line getting dropped onto Gucci as well. That's gonna be 4v5 for the rest 50 seconds, and that's gonna be Drake, I think, honestly.
Yeah, it does seem like Drake should be heading down pretty soon, but I must say these fights aren't going well. I feel like the Baron was a little bit of a lost cause. I guess going for the steal.
Pop Aspen getting caught out here. Unfortunately, Sheep Groper just their team has a lot of damage. Even with that MR, you can see two of them have Void Stab, and now Heroic Swing is not going to be enough to get Kaiwen out. I think friendly Agro. Oh my goodness, the Requiem. Yeah. Did you see that damage off of one auto attack?
Yeah, no, these teams, I mean, everyone just skilled so far.
Yeah.
These auto attacks.
Friendly aggro? Just takes the Hex Porter out. Poppy Skull is gonna look to kill Gucci. Oh, the buffer through the Hexa gate dodges the assault and battery. I didn't even know that was an interaction.
And yeah, I mean, Gucci does take the Hextech gate and does have to instantly flash out. It might have been a little bit of a misclick right there. It's definitely not the greatest position to be into.
Honestly,
under front of everyone.
I would have been mad if I were Gucci right there. Poppy Skills was able to dodge the Vi R with a Hextech gate. That is actually nuts.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting interaction. I mean, all these new additions to the game in the past couple of years have made a lot of very interesting niche cases.
Yeah,
pretty common now.
Yeah, and it's gonna be so hard for 4-0 to be able to fight these team fights now, especially being down 8k gold in these items you can see on these builds. And there's gonna be a teleport coming in from Pop Aspen. Here comes the Graves. Friendly aggro. You can see that Randy was doing work right now. Pop Aspen is not going to be doing any damage. Friendly aggro gets the Divine Judgment at the end of the line. Flash forward from Poppy Skills. That's going to be a Vault Breaker. It's going to be enough to come up. It's 2 revives for the side of 4-0. Elau is down in a very bad spot. Sheep Groper, and Friendly aggro are now just all stacking upon this Kog'Maw, and they have left him for dead because what can you do about Friendly aggro right there, man?
Definitely a pretty difficult situation now. That was a huge revive ultimately, there's not too much that can be said at this point. I mean, Karma's being alive is the biggest issue with this Hex Soul being up because Karma's empowered Q, the mantra Q,
Yeah,
can
Gucci
hit
1v1 John
everyone.
the Hole. That's a lot of damage. Lasagna is gonna drop. Vault Breaker is gonna get charged. He lands a shutdown going towards Gucci. He's not gonna drop the minions. M-Strike 11, however, is gonna drop to friendly aggro, and you can see the Graves damage is absolutely being nuts and just one-shotting people right here.
And as you can see that because of the Frozen Heart online for the Grazers, he didn't set the randoms because there's no crit. Whilst I play skill cast means that
Looking to pop that Deathified and just kill people. Allow level 1 is now up, but look at that Graves damage once again. This is through the Nexus and Fountain Healing. Friendly aggro is now stuck in 11 when the pop Aspen, but he has the randomness to Pogma passive drops. He's going to want to be 1 HP gold shut down going towards pop Aspen. Hero is now just taking the Nexus turns by herself. Yeah, that's a lot of value for the side of for supporters, and they absolutely can do this because of just how far ahead they are. They're up the soul, they're up 10k gold now, and even with objectives bounties up on the map, there are no objectives for the side of 4-0 to take.
I just really see why the Nasus wasn't really able to contest these side lanes because even with both Lulu and Nasus up, they weren't able to defend the Nexus turrets from this huge wave of minions coming in, and since they are now triple inhib, there's not too much they could stop from any future objectives being taken for the next couple minutes.
Yeah, and this is the hard part about playing just a very late game comp is that if you lose the early game lead, or if the early game lead shifts to anything that isn't you end up trying to just basically stall the entire game out. And you can see this right here. I'm not even sure if first supporters are trying to solve this game out, because at this point, I feel like they're just playing for fun. They have 3 inhibitors down. They could just end right now, honestly.
Yeah, they're definitely making it a little bit of a point, and potentially, I mean, there are situations where they were fighting under turrets and started taking a little extra damage than needed, but at this point, there's no turrets to kind of hinder any big team fight coming in. I mean, Karthus could just hop on right now, force everyone back into base, and then they could just free hit the turret or Nexus.
Yeah. And you see that wall just, oh my goodness, that range on the wall and then slow is so annoying. Friendly aggro is just gonna hit the Nexus. The Divine Judgment gonna drop. Gucci trying to go in. Poppy's is gonna be 1 HP. Sheep Gripper also 1 HP. But the Nexus is the target, and they're gonna be able to pick up that kill on the Nexus. And that's gonna be game 2 going towards the side of furry supporters. Any thoughts about that, Ethan?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty solid series going on so far. Both games are pretty solid. Games both going to pretty late into the game where you can see, builds going out to their maximum capabilities. I mean, Graves right there almost had entire full build going on right there, able to pretty much survive any damage and almost even one-shot some members of the enemy team.
Yeah, and with that, we're going to be taking another short Spectre delay as we get into game 3 of Furry Supporters versus 4-0. And once again, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Adobe and Gen.G, for once again funding this tournament and giving us pricing and equipment to run it. Thank you so much, y'all. And with that, see you guys soon. Let us know we're on. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary pals. Once again, I am Martin with my co-caster here.
Still Ethan.
Yeah, still Ethan. We got 4-0 versus furry supporters, and we are immediately going to this ban phase with bans getting dropped already. We have Singe, Graves, Swain getting banned. And honestly, that Swain ban is also understandable. So is the Graves.
Yeah, I mean, Agril has been quite the carry jungler in these past two games, but this is going to be the most supported ban phase of these players' careers for the LAN because this will decide the winner of the entire tournament.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know exactly where they're going to be winning, but they're going to be winning something. And they're currently playing live right now, right?
Yes, they are playing live. They are on stage at the LAN
Yeah.
currently.
They're live stage on. They're playing live on stage. Don't know what's going on there, but hope you guys are having fun. We see the Karthus and Graves getting banned, understandable. So honestly, I'm kind of expecting to see a Vi ban for the side of furry supporters because of just how comfort it is. Like, do you really want to get Vi again?
I do think that Vi is a pretty decent, pick. I do think that's something that's really low execution, is really solid just because Agril is a GM jungler. I do think that there's a bit of a discrepancy there. So I think that's playing something that will give you like guaranteed value to your team is more important than trying to do something that's very
Oh yeah.
solo
And
carryable.
look at that. We see the Zac getting picked up this time around. Furry supporters opted for the Jack spin. But honestly, I think we're going to see another carry jungler for the side of furry supporters. Scion. Ooh, that's spicy.
Yeah, Sion's definitely a champion that has been pretty strong as of late. There is that strategy to have the Scion go proxy the enemy red buff and then dive bot level 1 and just TP back lane top
Yeah.
because of your passive. But not sure if these teams are in practice of that, but that is always.
Yeah. And KO getting locked in again for the side of furry supporters. That might be a Scion support or a Scion jungle. I doubt the jungle pick, but could be. Could be jungle. But anyways, let's get back to it. Furry supporters, honestly, I'm kind of expecting for them to lock in I don't know. I was expecting a not carry support top, but KO worked, honestly.
Yeah, and the counter to this is now seems to be a Camille. And Camille is a very strong champion. It's something that's very easy to combo with champions like Galio or even the Zac, being able to lock down a champion at a certain range, which allows Zac to just slingshot himself into the middle of the team or whoever the target is and just cause a lot of disruption.
Yeah, and that's gonna be Camille locked in for the side of for not furry support. That is 4-0 right there. Camille is one of those champions that honestly I absolutely adore for being just amazing. Camille is just so fantastic at catching champions out, especially for the side of furry supporters, where you're gonna have a Scion probably split pushing the entire game. Kale is probably gonna want to split push because you saw from the last two games, furry supporters kept always had someone split pushing. Or they in both of these games, they always had someone split pushing.
Yes, and I mean, split pushing is a very strong win condition, especially in these kind of games that aren't exactly, I guess, MSI level gameplay, but still like pretty solid. Split push is always something you need to be ever present about. Kind of really test the other team's macro abilities and where to split resources.
As I would describe it, solo queue-esque.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, first supporters opting for the Lulu ban. Actually, a very smart ban from their side because you saw the Lulu being picked up for the past two games. But with how 4-0 have been drafting, they really have been shifting up their game plan here. We're seeing a lot of different picks this time. Honestly, I'm really curious to see what ADC in quotations that furry support is going to draft. Because as we saw for the past two games, there were both non-standard ADCs. In fact, it could even be Scion ADC right here.
Yeah, it could also be a fasting or it's not a fasting center because of the Leonis lockdown, but it could be a Scion bot. I do think that playing something that can contest this Jinx is probably a little stronger of an idea, but sorry, my allergies are acting up.
Nah, you're chill, dude. I understand. I feel you there, right? Oh my goodness. I woke up hella congested this morning. Hated. But
Yeah, I just sneezed, but yeah, I mean, Jinx is a very strong champion. Any hyper carry champion that can
yeah.
take care or take use of the new kind of hyper carry items coming
Oh,
in, and
Tristana ADC. We have an actual ADC, unless that's mid lane, but you know.
of course, it could
Um
always go mid lane. And I feel
yeah.
like Knowing the Furry supporters, just based off the last 3 games, the Sion could be trended towards bot. I don't think that Sion is a
Yeah,
very capable jungler. I think
yeah,
Kale might be wanting to go top, which means that Shana is going to blind mid or potentially flex into ADC. We
yeah.
will see.
I'm personally hoping to see Emilio pick up for the side of blue because Emilio would be wonderful with Jinx right now. As Jinx honestly wants to stay as far removed from their team as possible.
Yeah, and I do think that Milio is a super powerful pick, especially because if he can stay as far away from this Leon and Tristana as possible, then the more damage he can get out. And with the
Yeah,
Milio range
Emilio's
passive coming
yeah,
in, the
it
Runaan's
plays
is just yeah, it's just
it,
busted.
dude, it just plays very nicely into the Jinx queue with 750 range on that Jinx. Jinx is likely gonna have approximately 800 range. Oh, and we have the Emilio hover lock in. Yeah, we're gonna be seeing a very fun Jinx gameplay game this time, and I think that's a Malphite mid as well, unless for some reason, wait, yeah, unless for some reason they do a little swap, we're gonna be seeing something very exciting this game, folks. Tristana
Just like
locked in. The only
yeah,
thing
just like
left
you
is
talked about,
yeah,
the Milio is coming in.
only thing locked left is the jungle and silence Jingo Jango. I love that silence pick. So good into the side of 4-0. You have so many good ultimates to steal. You have the unstoppable force. You have the team wide cleanse from Milio as well. And Zach and Camille both have lockdown ultimates that you want to steal as well. However, the most value one you are gonna is of course Malphite. Super value on Silas, super well played, and just amazing to use.
I do think that's Unstoppable Force is pretty much the only ult that Silas is going to be inclined to pick up. Deep
Yeah,
Shock, it can be a good finisher. Camille ult is a good 1v1 tool, but I feel like the Zac ult is pretty balanced around the Zac blobs from his passive coming out, and
yeah.
Silas does not have blobs to consume.
Yeah, the Melia passive, the Melia aura is going to be working and playing very well into Leona and Sion. It is something that if you don't get hit in the by all of them, you can cleanse your team and hopefully get them out alive and in time. So
Mhm.
Melia is again like he's a really well designed champion in my opinion, and really well played and played when and when played well, absolutely amazing.
I think that champion is
A little bit about
absolutely a menace and gremlin in the bot lane to lane against.
honestly, dude, his passive just it does so much damage. Like, why does it do this much damage? And Riot has been making really interesting decisions by shifting ADCs into more of an on-hit build. You see a lot of on-hit passes being brought into the game nowadays. A lot of on-hit passes are getting converted into magic damage as well. And Jinx and Tristana, well, they can both play on-hit, but crit is pretty viable in both sides of this game.
I do
Any
think
thoughts?
that, yeah, Tristana's probably more inclined to go more of a assassin build. And honestly,
Yeah,
Tristana's main goal is to just scare this Jinx. And I think once this Jinx, I think the Jinx is the make or break of this team comp. If the Jinx is dead, then honestly, there's not much that the rest of the team can do. But of course, if the Jinx is allowed to pop off, stack up lethal tempo, get range of Milio and extra magic burn on her attacks, then there's something to be said about her getting excited and running around the team fight.
yeah. And with that, we're gonna be taking another spectator delay as we go into game three of Furry Supporters versus 4-0. Both teams are 1-1, and this game is gonna be the deciding factor. See you guys very shortly. John the Ho. Let us know when we're on, I guess. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Game 3 of Furry Supporters versus 4-0. We have, well, once again, I am Martin with my co-caster here.
Not Ethan.
Yes, Ethan once again. Let's get these introductions started before I think they're going to invade. Yeah, we have Furry Supporters on the side of red this time. Popping Skills in the top lane. Friendly Agro as Silas Jungle. John the Hole as ADC. With Teleport. Sheep Groper as Silence 8 top. And
I do
Fira
see
as
them
Leona
coming in.
support. And then here comes the invade. The Silas E comes in the Cyan charge. Zach is going to get stunned, but it only hits one person as woohoo, half their team is chunked.
Yeah, there's we'll say the early damage might be kind of hard. I mean, there's a lot of pretty tanky champions on the side of 4-0.
Yeah,
Yes,
4-0.
they are on blue side.
4-0 it is indeed blue side. And let's continue these introductions. We have Pop Aspen as Camille on the top lane, Gucci, Zach, Jungle, Kaiwin as mid lane, Malphite, Elawai 111 as Jinx ADC, and M Striker 11 as Milio support. We're going to be seeing quite a standard jungle clear from both sides, as Friendly Agro is probably going to be looking for an early game gank onto bot side, I think.
Yeah, and I think that's actually Silas's pretty interesting champion in the sense that
it is Scion ADC.
it is Scion ADC with the cold start on top of all that. Might be looking for some good deaths,
yeah,
as one might say. But the Silas jungle does have a hard time. Clearing jungle definitely might not be able to keep up in terms of HP with his clear as the Zac. And of course, the Zac is a pretty strong ganker, and we might look to see Gucci going for a lot of spam ganks.
And honestly, I'm surprised that the side of 4, Camille with a hook shot pops in skills takes a lot of damage. I'm surprised that 4-0 was able to read the draft so well and lock in Malphite into a Tristana mid. Tristana mid does not, it's like Lucian but with like an easier flow chart.
I do think that's drafting melee into the Tristana might be a little bit of a hindrance in the early laning phase of all.
But
Malphite
you have to know it is a Malphite. He has that bonus armor passive. He's not gonna die that easily.
Yeah, I guess it's less about the dying part and more about the ability to gather CS. But I guess that's his job is really just to survive.
Yeah, as Kaiwen just walks up to John the Ho and just slaps him in the butt.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
I mean, he is a pretty efficient champion on low gold with him really only being there to get that ult either for disengage or engage. So not too much of an issue in the mid lane so far.
Yeah, that thunderclap just doing damage. And you see the Malphite Q just poking with an arcane comet. It just does so much damage. Friendly Agro was able to do a buff clear. And he's back on the top side. Oh, yeah. That's actually surprising for the clear path. Gucci, however, is level 3. Looks for the engage onto John the Ho. Doesn't land. The pull back. John the Ho might have to flash here. Here comes the flash. Kaiwen bow flash. First blood dropping off to Gucci. And this is I think this is the first gank I think that's worked this entire series.
That was the first early gank at the least, even though Gucci's been playing such a pretty early game jungle, so it's pretty good. A beautiful kind of sticky hands to slap the Tristana and I believe a melee minion together, and that's a beautiful slingshot away to not get caught out by friendly aggro. Don't want to give him any early kills, although I guess Kawi could just teleported to one of the blobs.
Yeah, and well played on both sides there. Friendly aggro actually, I think that was a blind E, no?
I believe he did attempt for a blind D, but I think that's Zac was seen going into the bush.
Yeah. Honestly, a really good prediction on the side of for friendly aggro. That was, I would not have done that. I would not have known personally. But that's what makes him GM.
Yeah, that is the difference between him and us.
Yeah. But anyways, as this game progresses, we're going to be seeing Jinx actually 10 CS up ahead this time around. And there's a lot of it's all about passive gaming. I'm surprised at, because I expected friendly aggro to be on the map already just trying to spam gank, because that's exactly what Silas wants to do. He wants to get those ganks and wants to get those kills in early game skirmishes. Milio gets caught out by Ooh, here comes the Scion Q charge, but you see Alawi just doing so much damage onto Sheep and Firo. Friendly aggro hovering in the back. So is Gucci though.
Yeah, and definitely more difficult for them to get any crazy amounts of value in there. Just just
Oh,
because
the
that's kind
flash
of
getting
power.
dropped. Popping skills. Pop Aspen with a hook shot. Almost. Honestly, if that landed, that would have been a solo kill for the side of Pop Aspen. Actually nuts. Gucci once again in the mid lane. The buffer W. Good job, John the Ho.
Yeah, that's a great escape by the side of John on this Tristana, making sure not to get caught.
Oh my god, wait, Kai
That would
Win.
be pretty much
Kai
one of the only
Win getting
ways. And
caught
now
out
there's a
by friendly
reversal.
Agro. Yeah, we got the flash forward, the Abscond of duck, instant drop from Kai Win. Honestly, there's not much you can do about that other than just die. Gucci's still looking for it though. The Buster shot is up level 6, and John the Ho is just gonna say, "I'm just gonna jump on out of here." Sheep Groper
Yeah,
is
John
gonna
seems
be.
to have that rocket jump away like every 5 seconds, every time it seems the map, the
He
camera
just
pans back
knows.
to him. He's escaping.
He has the reaction time. He knows what he's in his mind, rent free.
He is indeed in his mind.
Yeah. A lot of this game, I feel like, is going to be played out in this bot lane here. We're going to be seeing Pop Aspen just asserting his dominance on the top against this KO, especially as he hacks the Hex out of the mana level 6 instant pop. Popping skills is in a bit of trouble here as Pop Aspen might pick up a solo kill. There's a lot of damage getting dropped. Friendly Agro's now here. He's now here. Picks up a kill. Solo kill. Jungle is now here, but that's going to be a 1-for-1 as Friendly Agro picks up another kill. Friendly Agro always in the right place at the right time, man.
Yeah, his map presence is definitely something to be admired for people to try to maybe end it in their own games. But yeah, I mean, the more kills that he's able to pick up, obviously not the fastest clear. So I mean, both junglers are going for a little more skirmishy brawl heavy that rely on these kills to get gold.
And let's look at the Milio pass a little bit. Sign is just lit on fire, and he's literally lost 30% of his health bar. That is the power of Milio. It's kind of stupid, honestly.
Yeah, as a champion that is super annoying to play against. Long range, the soccer ball seems to be like a homing missile.
Yeah.
And with the air, he just adds more damage on top
Yeah.
of all that.
Oh, Firo misses the Zenith blade, but M Striker 11 is now in a bad spot. Has to flash out. Allow still has the flash. Cleanse, exhausted, drop. Friendly Agro is doing a lot of damage. Here comes the Scion Q. Gucci is now here. It's a 3v2, but Alawe 111 is doing so much damage. Friendly Arrow is going to be able to go out. Sidestep the W, flash forward into the bush. There's going to be a lot of damage going to drop. Here comes the Q. And Friendly Agro puts another Q. And that's going to be 3 for over the side of Furry supporters. That was so well played for the side of Furry supporters. Oh my goodness.
Really important right there is for the sides to be able to get that W, the Kingslayer, onto the Jinx when he flashed forward to get the HP back. Otherwise, the reset might have happened. Kailing is here to try to trade one back. And I believe he will with the Unstoppable Force.
Unstoppable Force just runs his face into Vito. Sheep Groper is dropping real low. Friendly Agro comes in. Another pickup. Friendly Agro is now 4-0 with a 10-stack Dark Seal. This is not looking good for the side of 4-0. I'm just saying.
Definitely, Kailing definitely tried his best to salvage that situation because Agro did not finish his base. A little awkward giving him that, final 4th kill to kind of cap off his insane base he's about to get.
Yeah. And we do see Friendly Agro's and Striker 11 just walks up, kicks the ball. Cancels the back. Honestly, really good for the tempo play, as they're going to be able to pick up a Drake off of that.
Yeah, definitely doing his job to prevent any time you waste. But especially if he's trying to base, just delays all the clears. I mean,
Yeah.
Silas's entire jungle is up. Every second kind of matters to make sure you gain that maximum efficiency to try to, get ahead in the jungle.
And I'm really interested to see whether or not Friendly Agro is going to ego or not with a Mejai's. Do you think he's going to do it?
There's a possibility, but I feel like the extra about 1,000 gold, investment is kind of a big hindrance to your other item stacking. Now, of course, being Silas kind of being in the frontline first team, it's kind of a big risk, whereas maybe something like a mage might be able to get away with it a little more safely.
The Hex Splash forward, unfortunately doing nothing, but Sheep Groper in the bot side just, yeah, I guess this is the power of not playing ADC bot lane, huh? You just be able to survive.
He is going for that lethality build, having a Dirk as his first item.
I wonder what he's going to build. Is he going to go Yomu's or Duskblade? Here comes the Unstoppable Charge. It just barely whiffs. The W is going to drop. Oh my goodness, that damage. And Striker 11 drops the R. That's a lot of damage on Sheep Groper. He flashes out with 1 HP on both sides. They just barely get away with 1 HP. And John the Ho, once again, we were talking about the rocket jump. He always has it up.
I really like though that Gucci is being really proactive this game, trying to make sure that even though Eggroll is really far ahead, he's gonna try to, try to force a lead somewhere else.
Yeah, and this is the problem about playing Silas jungle. You have to look on the map and be able to play the map. He's not a jungle that you can sit back and relax and power farm because he is absolute booty cheeks at clearing jungle camps.
Precisely.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
a
as you said, a
vicious
bit of a dive
dive
coming in the
onto
top lane.
popping skills, flash forward. That's gonna be a pickup. However, Pop Aspen does. I think Pop Aspen likes this. He gets the top wave alone and a turret plates. Just so many turret plates. Oh, and friendly aggro does have Malphite R. Unstoppable force onto a lone ADC in the bot side. I wonder what's gonna happen. Here comes the Zenith Blade. The dive begins. Here comes the unstoppable force, and she's dead.
Yeah,
Tywin is here. Here comes
that's
the R.
another someone
Sheepcover is
coming
also
in for
dead.
the trade back.
Oh, Sheepcover's actually looking to fight instead of taking more plates. Wow, that is a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, he already got the place. A little difficult to get the entire second play as Sion won't get lifesteal from hitting the tower, but he is going for a Youmuu's.
Yeah, the Youmuu's build into the Scion. He still has 30 stacks on his Cole, which is honestly pretty nuts. He has 70 CS at 11 minutes. And can I just say, congratulations to all these laners for CSing pretty well, and especially in a tournament setting.
Yeah,
We're not pro
on
players here,
stage
lad.
in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive coming for everyone. But yeah, I mean, John is getting a pretty sizable CS lead in the mid lane. He's pretty much not missing a single wave because he's playing just so safe and not getting caught out by these ganks that he's staying subjected to. And the more ganks he's dodges, is just the more pressure he's able to alleviate from the rest of his team.
Yeah, and we do see friendly aggro with the Rift Herald. Dragon is coming up in about 3 minutes, I believe, and I don't know whether or not he's going to hold on to it or look to drop the Rift Herald, Shelly, for popping skills here, because you want to invest a lot of gold into the KO right now, because KO is your late game insurance. John the Ho is your secondary insurance.
For sure, but there's something he said about cracking open that mid tower open to kind of open up the rest of the map.
Yeah.
And a lot of
Pop
these
Aspen
rotations
looking onto popping skills. Oh my goodness, that damage. Here comes friendly aggro once again. But once again, he is too late. The automated drop. But Pop Aspen, oh my goodness, that damage. Hook shots out. He knows he can't fight this friendly aggro. Oh my god. What were those moves, dude? Oh my goodness. Kai went, oh.
Yeah. A pretty finesse-filled exchange right there.
Dude, that was so smooth from friendly aggro. Abscon into the King Slayer. Woo! Spicy.
Yeah, I mean, friendly Eggroll is very far ahead. He's also able to claim these higher place by himself because of Rift Herald, obviously, alongside, popping seals having just died. But Fly Seals does reclaim some of that gold and is going to be able to catch the rest of that wave.
Yeah, and friendly aggro is just so absurdly ahead right now that he's up a level, and I think he's up. Oh, Gucci with the dive, the flash forward away from John the Ho. Pop Aspen catches friendly aggro in the jungle. Here comes the Hex, like automated launch damage being dropped without the bot lane. Here comes the Intracker getting hit by the. Oh, the Assault Charge just barely kills. He has to flash out of the way. Law is trying to get out of the solo flare. Now we're back in the river. Here comes the Divine Judgment. Kaiwen trying to kill friendly aggro, but it's not gonna be enough as the Divine Judgment is just doing so much. Pop Aspen falls. Gucci's about to fall. So did Kaiwen. This is the power of Silas jungle. Once you pick up the kills, you are virtually unstoppable. Unstoppable here.
I really like how even though friendly Eggroll is kind of the carry right now, he is okay with kind of handing these kills over to his Kale, understanding that she is going to be the late game win condition.
Yeah, absolutely. Friendly aggro, however, he's so ahead right now that he absolutely does have the option of just taking all these kills and running with it. Oh my goodness, and look at that gold. 625 gold slapped onto the KO. That is... He's balling in money right now. Yeah, 6.4k gold, 7.4k gold onto the Silas as well. I'm just saying, red side's kind of rich.
Yeah, every laner is at the least around like what, a couple hundred, maybe like a long sword plus above the enemy opponent, which is just on every single member, which means every single fight means everyone's hitting just that extra bit harder, which means it's not just anything you can kind of do to at least brute force front to back these fights.
Yeah, and you can just look at the value in the gold, and just by comparing items, we have Silas already done with his mythic. He is up almost, he's already almost finished his second item, and 6k gold is nuts. That is 2 full items on just spread out across the entire team. As friendly Igro is looking onto Kaiwa, he gets on top of force, comes in. John the Hole is now here. Gucci is still on the jungle. Kaiwa is just looking to get out. M-Striker here 11 is now here, but that's going to be enough as friendly Igro hits the blast man, flash away. Friendly Igro is still looking to chase. He's going to be enough. Abscon, Abduct, not going to hit, not going to connect. Pop Aspen now in the top lane. We are looking at a 1v1 as Pop Aspen is now losing the 1v1 as Poppy's skills hits level 11, and you know, KO does a funny KO thing.
Yeah, this kill is definitely online now. It's actually a full champion. Pop Aspen was doing really good in the early game, but just these ganks and losing a couple waves made it so that
Yeah,
Poppy
I
feels
stop
it
of a
ended up
charge
ahead
coming
in
in for
XP.
Sheik Roper. M-Strike 11 sidesteps that. Here comes the Solar Flare. Finally, Igro just Kingslayers that. Here comes the teleport coming in from Kaiwa. It's going to be on top of force. 3-man knockup. Is it going to be enough? Here comes the Jinx Rocket. That's not going to be enough. Damn, where is the damage? The crit. They're not taking any damage here, folks. They're just... Oh my goodness. Things are not looking good for the side of 4-0. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and they really want to get a good front-to-back fight with the Jinx getting rockets in. The Stormraiser is online, but at this point, no champion is really going to be in a position where this the extra dash for one auto, and the C is going to give her a good situation.
Even with the front to fight backs, you just saw a front fight to back there in the bot lane, and you saw the damage. It would they're so up ahead in gold for the side of furry supporters that they literally just face tanked it and just you saw the damage, man.
Definitely. I mean, if Jinx get a couple on the squishies, there are sizable damage. It's just she needs about like 5 more autos, and you know that is for at least an 80 Ataxi champion. It's only one item, pretty good amounts. But at this point in the game, when you have Silex one-shotting people with the Night Harvester, it's just not looking like enough.
Listen, I'm just saying things are absolutely terrible for the side of 4-0 when you know objective bounties were up at 14 minutes. That is
that is a pretty strong indicator.
Yeah, you are so behind in gold at that point that is actually you have to hope that one of their monitors turns off or something like that.
Of course. And yeah, all these objectives are probably just gonna fall to the hands of the furry supporters with 3 exclamation points.
Yeah, and that's the power of also taking Shelly early game. Shelly and Sheldon. These Rift Heroes have just been generating so much value for the side of furry supporters that they're just able to get so much gold onto one person before 14 minutes that they're just able to fight very well. Friendly Igro is also just absolutely killing it. Literally. 8-0.
This point, like, with Dragons being such a strong party, and you can see that Fire on Leona is pinging the Drake timer. And you can see the vision line of the red side here with 2 control wards controlling that's bot side bush and the dragon pit, alongside just the blue side Noctiluts would really walk in their jungle at risk of something like this Scion just absolutely clobbering them with that
Scion Q. It's so hard for not furry supporters, 4-0 to do anything here without risking their lives, like you were saying. It's really hard for you to be able to walk into your own jungle at this point. As we see Pop Aspen try to get out, hook shot, the Abscon and Abduct almost just connects as friendly Agros just barely whiffs it.
Yeah, definitely. If there was only like one tower down on the side of 4-0, they could potentially try to freeze as Gucci jumps in.
Yeah. Here comes the Divine Judgment. This is going to be a huge pick. They really need this gold. As Camille picks up the shutdown, Pop Aspen picks up 650. He has teleport. The dragon is coming up in about 30 seconds. We're going to be seeing a team fight at the dragon here, folks, as Kayla's going to be just up just in time for the dragon as it respawns. Are they going to be able to fight this? I severely doubt it, but they might look for it here.
They could, if there's any time to fight an objective, it would be a 5v4, even if they're so far behind. One champion down, like the kill being down is like 6-7k items gold value just being down in the fight.
Even 5v4, Kale's going to be up in time just for the dragon to spawn. Kaiwan, however, is going to get caught out, and unfortunately, I don't think anything's going to be happening out of that. You just have to look to just take your losses, cut your losses, and just get what you can.
And you just can't be getting caught out in the bot side like that. I mean, you know you don't have vision. I don't think Kylie has a sweeper, so there's not much you can do there, but you just have to stay with the team or not overextend in that kind of situation.
Yeah, Fairly Aero is out of the Dragon Pit right now. He's back in the Dragon Pit. Now Pop Aspen is here in the back. Hextech Motivated drops. Sheep Gopher is now 1 HP. But I don't think there's going to be enough damage because you see their bot side. They're on the other side of the Dragon Pit. They're not going to be able to do the damage. Even with a melee W and Jinx Q, you can only do damage for 4 seconds before the W expires, and you suddenly are just kind of sitting there. The chompers are sent out. The Zenith's Blade connects. The cleanse is also going to be dropped, but I don't think it's going to be enough as Alawi is going to be flash forward. Furious kills, giving chase, flash forward. The Q drops as Alawi picks up a kill. That was just an ego play from Pira right there.
100%. Almost even traded out right there at the end, but yeah, I mean, this is a pretty insurmountable need to try to come back around. You can never say never, you know, there's never FF and all that, but
yeah, I'm gonna call it here and say it's pretty doomed.
It's looking pretty rough. I mean,
yeah, inhibitors down at 20 minutes.
Yeah, at this point could all but just keep trying to go in, but
yeah, unless they throw right here.
And that's a big reset. Jinx is excited. She can go fast, and she doesn't have the ghost, but
it's no longer doomed.
It's a small consolation. I mean, we could see what they could do with the items. Jinx is not even at 2 items yet, so I mean, if she can somehow stall the game 2-3 items, there is a chance. I mean, Silas won't scale forever. The only issue is because of that Malphite, the Silas is able to just instantly hop into the backline without really anything to stop it, unless Jinx is flash up.
The solo player getting dropped, Malphite with a teleport coming in. You have to appreciate the decision making on the side of 4-0 because they immediately went to the Baron as soon as Silas dropped. You saw all of their members just running towards straight the Baron. Remember, folks, these are not LCS pros; these are college students, and these calls are just absolutely fantastic with the decision making and just the confidence of making it. Oh my god, Pop Aspen 1v1 cheap prop Roper in the bot lane as Pop Aspen picks up a kill in the bot. Blue team picks up the Baron Nashor, and that's going to be a little bit of a lag spike right there, folks, but it's alright. As we're going to see 4-0, honestly, they recovered about 5k gold right there. Pop Aspen now in a 1v2. He's going to be able to go a hook shot. Pop, ooh, John the Hole goes into melee range into Pop Aspen. Crit, yeah, no, he still falls.
It's pretty close. I feel like he could have tried to at least trade one for one right there. I feel like that was the best outcome, but I think it definitely was something.
Oh, the Jinx rocks and the super big enough that I can just barely whiffs. Oh my goodness, nice try there though.
Very close, and that would have been a huge kill right there, just to kind of stagger that timers even further and essentially try to make it a little safer to walk up for some ways.
Yeah. What 4-0 really needs to do is just cut their losses and try and recover as much gold as possible. Just play around the objective timers and just farm. Pop Aspen has teleport. You see the objective bounties all over the map. Come on, just take the top turret, please.
It's just really tough for them to try to extend that far out because mid, and
no
that's a big one.
Oh yeah, Kai win with the unstoppable force onto Tristana, and Tristana's gonna fall there.
So we see how they'll convert off getting this mid tower. I mean, no CC up right now, and I believe Silas did just pick up the unstoppable force, so it's a little dangerous to try to walk up any further. Their rage and that's a huge charge.
Infrastructure 11 gets chunked for half their HP bar. The W is dropped, but unfortunately it's not going to do much. Kaiwin is now going to get the Zenith Blade as friendly Agros now here. Pop Aspen is now here. The Solar Flare, so is Popping Skills. Everyone is here. This is just like Smash Brothers. Oh, stop him force on the low. He just barely whiffs. It's going to be enough for Agros drops. That's Pop Aspen in the backline. 1v1 to Popping Skills. The Divine Judgment here. Sheep Clipper is falling as it's 1v2 as Popping Skills is doing so much damage onto Kaiwin. Oh my goodness, Gucci is not here. That's a double kill for Kaiwin. That is the best case scenario for the side of 4-0 as they're able to go 1 or 4 for 5. Honestly, when you're behind, looking to fight is the key here, or looking to go even at least.
100%. I mean, they did just grab that massive shutdown from friendly aggro. I don't quite remember who it got to, is either Malphite or the Zac, but we will see items coming in for either player, and the Anathema's change is coming in for the Malphite, making sure that's
I love Anathema's change. It's just one of those items that's just it infuriates a player, honestly.
100%. As long as the Malphite can survive, I saw how long that Kaiwin could survive in this fight. He can do damage, and he can even outlive an entire like 3 seconds of Divine Judgment auto attacks plus the actual burst itself and trade out.
Yeah, these games has been such a back and forth so far. It's actually nuts because being up 10k gold should mean that you auto win every single fight, if I'm entirely honest.
Yeah, besides the skill, I feel like we're seeing the strength of such a like strong core of this, a really good front to back type of comp. Whereas you know, side of first supporters does have a pretty like strong focus on getting some kind of pick Tristana jumping in with the Silas, getting a lockdown
Yeah,
to Leona,
Pop
and that's a
Aspen's doing a
very
lot of
ambitious
damage.
hook
Hook
shot.
shot, dodges the unstoppable charge. Pop Aspen takes an extra tower shot and unfortunately falls as First Supporters picks up another Chemtech Dragon. So, or
That's the
Chemtech
Death
Dragon.
Rocket coming into the top lane.
Oh, just barely whips again!
White's getting very unlucky with just a slight place. I feel like on certain days those rockets still hit anyway just because of the way the hitbox is working this game, but we do see a consolidation of the red team in the
Yeah,
jungle,
friendly
and
Aggro
that is a
flashes
flash
forward.
hook.
That's a flash from Silas. Absolutely massive support flash is not worth your jungler flash. Who's your carry, by the way?
100%, and that was pretty ambitious, but I do think that that one pick would have really signaled them to just all in and kind of take that fight.
Yeah, friendly Aggro is not fully egoing with the Magi's, but he is egoing these plays. You can see it, but you have to respect it. He's just having fun at this point, honestly.
For sure, I mean he deserves it. He's been the backbone of this team. How like I guess Kanavi would be a good example in the MSI right now, but yeah, I mean
Yeah.
game is evening out. Not exactly
Yeah, I mean, they're
really
still
even
5K.
game per se,
They're
but
still 5,000 gold behind. And
they cut their
Yeah.
loss in half. They cut the loss in half.
yeah, and it's honestly amazing how much they recovered, especially from that 20-minute mark where they were down about 12K gold. That's nothing to scoff at.
Definitely, and Jinx does have 3 items online. I think that this is really good for poking out, not necessarily
Yeah,
the biggest
the-
like area damage type of build, but as long as she can get that first get excited online, then
you know what's kind of funny? Jinx currently has 1.K range with Milio W. Rapid fire cannon plus the Jinx rocket. I think it's actually 950 about. Pop Aspen looking to
that's quite insane.
Yeah, Pop Aspen's looking to 1v1 Sheep Gripper once again, but here comes friendly Aggro with the Hex of automated dodges the Abscona of Duck Flash. Oh, that was insane! Pop Aspen! What? Is he gonna be able to get out? Here comes the team. Here comes the cavalry. Here comes Pop Aspen once again. Super Mega Death Rocket once again whiffs, but it's a 3v1. Here comes the Kingslayer. Oh my god, the sidestep from Lawai!
There's a beautiful play from the side. Pop Aspen getting that perfect cage onto the sign right there, pushing away Agrol, and then the entire team just rotating back up, forcing the stopwatch out of Silas. But at that point, it was too late. Silas tried to Kingslayer onto Jinx and get some HP back, but beautiful side steps trying to get excited, allowed her to just stay alive and just.
Yeah, and that could be Baron for the side of 4-0, as Silas has a really long respawn timer right now. He's level 17 or 16, somewhere around that area. That's going to be about a 45-second respawn timer for the side of Furry supporters, and they're going to be capitalize on that and take the Baron for free.
Yeah, so since this Jinx does have 3 items, she is going to be able to shred. I do believe that they gave a lot of the ZL items a little more damage. So especially Storm Razor, just
I think
the new Storm Razor.
I think the nice part about the new ZL items isn't the new damage, it's the movement speed. I think the movement speed is like heavily underrated. I was okay, not gonna lie, I was playing Yasuo like 3 days ago. I had 450 movement speed, but I was also 1 in 10. Yeah. Finals, dude.
It was good on you for being humble, but being honest.
Listen,
But,
my excuse is that I was literally taking my final right after that game. I am
Nice.
so dead from studying, dude. But yeah, we're gonna see these items getting completed, a lot of more items getting picked up. I'm actually really surprised about the Sterex pickup on Pop Aspen because, quite frankly, I forget that item exists.
LRD is really good because it does allow him to survive potential bursts from the Tristana or the Silas and Lan to continue just going and killing whoever's inside his Hextech cage. But yeah, we do see more grouping inside of that boss side jungle.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna death push it here. Cyan, of course, is doing Cyan things in the bot lane and just split pushing. Pop Aspen is looking to catch out that Cyan. They are death pushing, but they know
They're sitting on a ward.
Yeah, they know. They don't know it's warded though, unless no, they do. The enemy vision pings are coming out. We're gonna see a lot of dancing back and forth as this dragon comes up. It is Chemtech Soul. Chemtech Soul is quite strong, especially for the side. Friendly Ariel wants that healing. He wants the Kingslayer heals. And that reduced 10% damage, actually pretty nuts, especially if you're a champion that heals like that.
For sure, and I mean, I'm just really worried about this drag fight. I feel like this drag fight will be the one that could potentially decide just the rest of the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is this gonna be? sorry, is this gonna be the miracle comeback for the side of 4-0, or is this gonna be First Support is finally taking the lead and just running with it, and they're actually giving up the Drake?
They
Wow.
seem to just be trying to trade Drake for a
Honestly,
couple towers.
this works very well because they have Baron. They can
That's
just
true.
do
And to
this.
be fair, Chemsol is not as crazy of a spike. It just gives, I believe, more damage while you have lower HP, which is annoying for things
Yeah.
like Sion. But
Wow, that unstoppable charge just feels. Ooh, that is a lot of chunky. Pop Aspen opts to just get out of there, but as they're gonna take their entire jungle and book it out there.
I see
Unless
that they
Death
are gonna
Bush?
try to stack a bush themselves.
Death Bush? Question mark? Question mark? This is some amazing macro play for the side of 4-0. They have taken about 3-4 turrets in the last 3 minutes, or last 30 seconds, honestly. And with that, they have now evened out the gold gap. They went from 12k to nearly 0. Really, Agro face checking into the enemy team is going to be enough. Here comes the teleport coming in from Pop Aspen.
I
The
was see
team
if they
are
get the
trickling
pick
in.
off.
Free Groper is still in the bot side, not teleporting yet. Friendly Agro is now 1 HP. Pop Aspen is the flash fail. Here comes the Divine Judgment. That Pop Aspen is dropping real low. The Guardians Angel coming in clutch. He Groper is down here. This is a 45. Wait, they can look to end here, I think. Wait, 4-0 can actually might look at end. The waves are in the right spot. Top wave is coming in. Teleport coming in from Kai Wen. Look onto mid lane. Sheep Groper, don't chase. Just look to take the turrets, man. Woo!
That was an absolutely insane engage coming in there. Friendly aggro just face
This
checking
could be
that
game.
bush.
This could be game.
I do believe this is going to be game. They have waves coming in. They did take that turret before allowing their waves to come in. And this Sion is going to try to
Sheep
clear the
Groper's
way with the
lucky
body
to kill
block.
the wave. The body block. He still has passive. He still has passive. It's not gonna be enough. Friendly Agro is up in 10. They're going to be able to kick turrets. Here comes the gate side. They're going to be coming in for the comeback. This is 12k gold. Oh my goodness. 4-0 has done the impossible.
Wow. That was an insane ending sequence right there. The game looked all but finished when they're down 10,000 gold and they made the comeback, clawing their ways, sacrificing the soul points and the soul itself to get that turret rotation and just absolutely pushing in that final
Yeah,
fight to just take the game.
coming back from a 12 gold from a 12 gold gap deficit, and they were able to come back from Chemtech Soul as well. That is nothing to scoff at. That is just actually insane macro plays by the side of 4-0. They were able to take out so many turrets in so much little time. That was so well played for the side of 4-0. And what an unexpected comeback. Congratulations, 4-0, your tournament winners for this spring game-a-thon. Any closing thoughts, Ethan?
I think that was one absolutely insane series going on. Like all those games were super close. Honestly, those games could have gone to either side at any moment. And honestly, I don't think there's any better ways to end a series like that than with that crazy of a comeback.
Honestly, yeah. And once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Adobe and Genji. Adobe for funding our tournament prizes, which 4-0 had just won, and Genji for providing our equipment that these wonderful players are playing on. And with that, that is it from me. Any last comment thoughts?
No, I'd also like to just say thank you to our sponsors and to everyone for coming to this game-a-thon. And everyone else, just enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah. Have a nice day. See ya.